At muli po, maraming salamat po sa inyo pong walang sawang pagtutok sa amin sa loob ng isang taon. Happy anniversary po muli sa On Call at syempre sa GMA News TV. Tutok lang po dahil susunod na rin ang The Chief Justice on Trial, the GMA News TV special coverage. Kasama pa rin po ang aking partner na si Ivan at ang ating kapusong nga si Ms. Vicky Morales. Samantala, samahan niyo pa rin po kami uli bukas, 1:00 hanggang 2:00 ng hapon. At sa ngalan nga po ni Ivan, Mayrina, ako po si Connie Season. Ito po ang On Call, serbisyong totoo ngayon.
The Philippines' #1 news channel. Ito ang GMA News TV.
Magandang hapon po, day 25 na po ng impeachment trial ni Chief Justice Renato Corona. Ako po si Vicky Morales.
At ako naman po si Ivan Mayrina. Samahan niyo muli kami sa special coverage ng GMA News TV. Ito ang The Chief Justice on Trial.
Patuloy po tayong magbabantay sa mga pinakamaiinit na pangyayari sa Senado.
At mag-uulat mula roon ang ating kasamang si Joseph Moro.
At dito naman po sa studio, nagbabalik po ang ating legal expert na si Professor Rowena Daroy Morales ng UP College of Law para magbigay ng mas malalim na pagtingin sa proseso ng impeachment trial ni Chief Justice Corona.
Magandang hapon sa iyo, Professor. Welcome back.
Good afternoon.
Nice to be here.
At puntahan muna natin si Joseph Morong sa Senado. Joseph.
Okay. Ivan, Vicky, sumulat na ang prosecution dito kay Supreme Court Associate Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno para imbitahan siya sa Senado na tumistigo kaugnay ng Article 7 ng Articles of Impeachment laban kay Chief Justice Renato Corona. Ito'y matapos tanggihan ng Senado kahapon ang prosecution na ang Senado ang mag-iimbita dito kay Justice Sereno na tumistigo dito sa Senado. Ayon kay Bayan Muna Representative Nery Colmenares, ay isa sa mga tag-uusig para sa Article 7. Ipinadala nila ang sulat kay Justice Sereno kanina at hiniling nila na tumistigo sana siya sa March 1. Kahapon ay tumanggi ang Senado na sila mismo mag-imbita kay Sereno. Ayon kay Senator Judge Miriam Defensor Santiago, ay kung gagawin daw nila ito, ay parang pinipilit din ng Senado na baguhin ang February 14 resolution ng Korte na nagbabawal sa lahat ng mga empleyado ng Korte Suprema na ibunyag ang mga internal deliberations sa Korte Suprema. Sabi naman itong si Representative Colmenares ay hindi sila humingi ng tulong sa palasyo o kay Presidente Noynoy Aquino para himukin si Justice Sereno na tumistigo laban sa kapwa niya maestrado, itong si Chief Justice Renato Corona. Narito ang pahayag nitong si Representative Colmenares.
Sinabi namin na we understand the difficult situation you're in. However, in the interest naman ng pag-alam, ang tingin namin kasi may makatulong siya doon sa pagresolba ng issue na hinaharap ng impeachment court, which is kung whether or not naging bias or partial si Chief Justice Corona doon sa issuance ng TRO. Ang prosecution, ibibuild namin yung kaso namin at tingin naman namin ang desisyon ni Justice Sereno is based on her parang pagtingin doon sa issue at hindi sa sino man ang kumausap sa kanya.
Okay, Ivan, Vicky, na ang tinataya nating bilang ng mga testigo ngayon ay 4, 3 hanggang 4. Dalawa dyan yung Supreme Court process servers. Kaya lang ang problema dito sa dalawang Supreme Court process servers ay sakop sila noong February 14 na Supreme Court resolution na nagbabawal sa kanila ng tumistigo dito sa Senado. Kung hindi sila matuloy, ay meron pa naman nakapila na isang video custodian at isang security guard daw ng DOJ na tumanggap ng TRO nung inilabas ito ng Korte Suprema noong November 15. At ang sabi ng prosecution ay dito kay Representative Erin Tanyada ay they will wrap up the case by March 19. Ivan, Vicky.
Alright, maraming salamat sa iyo, Joseph Morong. Babalikan ka namin maya-maya lang.
Samantala, formal nang inimbitahan ng prosekusyon si Associate Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno para dumalo sa impeachment trial. May report si Lia Manyalak del Castillo. Lia.
Yes, Ivan, nagpaabot na nga personal ng sulat itong isang private prosecutor at isang staff ni Congressman Nery Colmenares para kay Associate Justice Lourdes Sereno na iniimbitahan nga itong dumalo sa impeachment court, sa pagdinig ng impeachment court ngayong Huwebes, March 1, alas 2 ng hapon. Doon sa kanilang sulat na personal na dinala dito sa Supreme Court nakalagay na pinatetestigo nila si Justice Sereno tungkol doon sa naging dissenting opinion niya sa inilabas na TRO ng Korte noong November 15 patungkol nga sa naging watchlist order noon laban kay dating Pangulong Gloria Arroyo. Pinatetestigo rin siya tungkol sa naging circumstances noong inilabas na TRO dito sa Korte Suprema at yung sinasabi niya daw na hindi pag-promulgate o hindi pagpayag na ma-promulgate yung kanyang naging dissenting opinion na sinasabi si Chief Justice Corona raw yung humarang para ma-promulgate ito. Nauunawaan daw ng mga House prosecutors yung sitwasyon ni Justice Sereno at mahirap na raw yung kinalalagyan nitong sitwasyon kaya ina-assure nila na kung sakaling dadalo siya sa impeachment court ay titiyakin daw nila na mapapahalagahan yung kanyang karapatan at yung kanyang dignidad bilang isang maestrado. Humihiling din sila na sumugot sana si Justice Sereno sa kanilang kahilingan para kung sakaling hindi raw siya makakadalo ay maipaalam naman ito ng mga House prosecutors sa mga senator judges. Samantala, Ivan, sinumpirma rin sa atin ni Court Administrator Midas Marquez na nakatanggap ang lahat ng mga maestrado ng Korte Suprema ng sulat mula sa Dean ng College of Law ng Iglesia ni Cristo para dumalo sana mamaya sa kanilang Grand Evangelical Mission. Maging si Court Administrator Marquez daw ay nakatanggap din ng sulat. Pero sa mga oras na ito, hindi pa alam ni Marquez kung sino sa mga maestrado ang dadalo at kung padadalihin nga ba siya ng isa sa mga ito mamaya. Ivan?
Okay, maraming salamat.
Lia? Babalikan na lang siguro natin si Lia maya-maya lamang. At kasama rin natin ngayon, syempre, si Professor Rowena Daroy Morales. Okay, so nakatanggap na ng imbitasyon itong si Sereno, no? Anong next step dito? Magpapaalam ba siya knowing na hindi naman talaga siya papayagan ng Korte Suprema?
Hindi natin alam kung hindi siya papayagan. You know, Justice Sereno has a very independent mind and she's known to be morally upright. She will do what's right. And kung kilala natin siya, she's a colleague at was a colleague at the UP College of Law. Kung kilala natin siya the way that we always knew her, she will stand for what is right. And ano ba ang paglabag sa batas ng pagtestigo niya? Wala naman eh. Kung ano man, ang hinaharap niya siguro ay...
Paglabag doon sa resolution.
Hindi. Ang resolution sinasabi, kailangan ng consent. No?
Okay.
Ng paalam.
Yung Feb 14 resolution.
That's right.
Hindi naman talagang lantarang sinabing hindi ka pwedeng magtestigo.
Correct.
Kailangan magpaalam sa Korte Suprema. Ang sino mang magte-testify.
Mismo.
Okay.
Mismo. So I can expect, no, pag nag-testify siya, one of the justices will also come forward na para mag-offer ng counter-testimony. I can
One of the
expect
justices?
that. Oh, yes. Siyempre, papayagan ba ng depensa na isang justice of the Supreme Court ang uupo doon, laban sa kanila, magpipresenta din sila ng sarili nilang justice.
Someone who's perceived to be sympathetic to the
I can imagine,
defense
yes.
panel.
We can name names, but I don't want to second guess. Pero yes, mangyayari yan. Now, we can now imagine what will happen. A justice here versus a justice.
Para pinagsasabong.
Yun na nga. Yun yung I think, no? One of the concerns of some of the senators. Not so much a constitutional crisis, much as, naku, ano yung nagawa natin kung mag-issue ng sabina ang Senado. Pero kung on their own, on the other hand, I can also expect that Justice Sereno will think about those repercussions. Kasi she's a member of the Supreme Court.
Or siguro pwede rin ilimit niya yung kanyang mga pag-uusapan dun lang sa naging public document na dissenting opinion niya.
Dapat ilimit ng nagtatanong. Except na ayon sa statement kanina, no, ni Representative Colmenares, ang pag-uusapan lang daw ay hindi yung internal goings-on, kung hindi yung kanyang pananaw ukol sa kanyang dissenting opinion. What is that? So, an opinion on her opinion. So, all the others who gave an opinion, siguro na nasa majority, pwede din mag-come forward. Yun ang ating, ano to?
Alright, pero bago niyan, eto, kaugnay pa rin sa Grand Evangelical Mission ngayong hapon sa Quirino Grandstand. Makibalita po tayo sa ating kasamang si Haji Rieta. Haji, kamusta na?
Yes, Vicky, bagaman na hapon pa ang simula ng pagtitipon ng Iglesia ni Cristo dito sa Quirino Grandstand, ay nagsimula na nga magdatingan ng mga kaanib nito dahil nasa 3 milyon ang darating sa pagtitipon, ay nagpakalat na ang PNP ng mga polis na magbantay sa seguridad sa lugar. Pati nga ang sariling security unit ng INC ay naka-standby na rin malapit sa entablado ng Quirino Grandstand. At Vicky, nilinaw naman ng INC na Grand Evangelical Mission lang ang mangyayari ngayong araw. Taliwas daw ito sa mga kumakalat na balita na isa itong malaking rally naman laban sa Administrasyong Aquino. So press release nila na ilabas kahapon, matagal na raw itong ginagawa ng INC. Samantala, ang pagtitipon ito ng Iglesia ni Cristo ay nationwide. Ibig sabihin ay bukod sa Quirino Grandstand, ay gaganapin din ito sa iba't ibang probinsya. At ay nasaan nga alas 5 ng hapon mamaya ay magsisimula na itong Grand Evangelical Mission ng Iglesia ni Cristo dito sa Quirino Grandstand. Vicky?
Alright, maraming salamat sa iyo, Haji Rieta. Mamaya babalikan ka namin. At nagsisimula na po ang impeachment proceedings. Panoorin po natin ito.
At importante po ang accountability at transparency sa gobyerno. Ay maraming mga problema na nasa buhay ng bawat Pilipino. Bless each and every lawyer who is here, every senator, judge, every advocate, Lord, and let the truth prevail. We lift this up to you and ask for this, Lord, in Jesus' mighty name, Lord Father God and Lord God Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. The Secretary will now call the roll of senators.
The Honorable Senator Judges Angara, Arroyo, Cayetano Alan Peter Compañero, Cayetano Pia, Defensor Santiago, Drilon, Ejercito Estrada, Escudero, Gingona, Honasan, Lacson, Lapid, Ligarda, Marcos, Osmeña, Pangilinan, Pimentel, Recto, Revilla, Soto, Trillanes, Villar, the Senate President.
With 15 senator judges present, the chair declares the presiding officer declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, may I ask the Sergeant at Arms to make the proclamation?
The Sergeant at Arms is directed to make the proclamation.
All persons are commanded to keep silent under pain of penalty while the Senate is sitting in trial on the articles of impeachment against Chief Justice Renato Corona.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we dispense with the reading of the February 27, 2012 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court and consider the same as approved.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The February 27, 2012 Journal of the Senate sitting as an impeachment court is hereby approved. The Secretary will please call the case.
Case number 0022011 in the matter of impeachment trial of Honorable Chief Justice Renato Corona.
Appearances. Majority Floor Leader.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Your Honors, for the prosecution, same appearances, Mr. President.
Noted. The defense.
Good afternoon, Mr. President and members of the impeachment court. Same appearance for the defense.
Noted.
Mr. President.
Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, for our business for the day, we are in the continuation of the cross-examination by the defense on Mr. Edmund Losalia, cameraman of ABS-CBN.
If Your Honor, please, may I address the court.
The gentleman from the defense.
Yes, Your Honor. As you would see, Your Honor, hardly is the table for the defense filled. Most of our lawyers are stuck in traffic, and I understand that our chief defense counsel is on his way. And so, if it is permissible, may we request for a second call? If not, yes. Your Honor, please would move for continuing.
How long do you think will take him to reach the court?
Maybe an hour, Your Honor.
Within an hour, what's the pleasure of the prosecution?
We have no objection as to the request for second call, Your Honor.
For 1 hour. Not more than 1 hour.
Thank you, Your Honor.
and we will resume if once the Chief Defense Counsel is in the courtroom.
Mr. President, before you bang the gable,
Yes?
may I ask for a 1-minute suspension, Mr. President?
Session suspended for 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute ba o 1 hour tayo magbabanding dito?
Alam na natin kung bakit matraffic.
Oo,
Vicky.
dahil nga dyan sa Iglesia ni Cristo Evangelical event, no, sa Quirino Grandstand. So siguro patuloy ho natin pag-usapan itong tungkol ho kay Justice Sereno. No? So, ang magiging next step, magpapaalam ho siya. Ngayon na may imbitasyon na ho siya, magpapaalam na ho siya dito sa Korte Suprema. So, kailangan ba pagbotohan nila en banc yun?
Oh yes, no? Kasi ang paalam naman ay sa buong Korte Suprema. Hindi lang kanino siya papaalam kay Chief Justice. Medyo
Chief Justice,
weird yata
testigo ako laban sa inyo, pwede ba? Parang ganun ho yung dating, di ba, Professor?
Mismo.
In very simple terms, di ba?
Mismo. At knowing, no, yung dynamics, yung personal dynamics nila ngayon, nakikita natin, eh mukhang siguro sasabihin nila, hindi nila lalabanan. We don't agree, but if you want, ayan. Maybe. I'm not saying yun ang gagawin nila. We don't want to second guess. But we can imagine, pag ginawa nila yon, ayan na. Isa-isa na yan. Na justices will come to the fore to say, teka, may sasabihin din kami. But I can imagine to, pagdating na ng depensa.
So ano mga issues ang maaring ilabas ng mga justice? O pwede kang mag-testify on the condition that, o ano na naman ang pwedeng mga gawing kondisyon ng mga justice ng Supreme Court?
Sa totoo lang, unless, no, and this is going to be very tricky, unless i-qualify nila si Justice Sereno as an expert, and of course, she's an expert, but an expert on interpreting her own opinion, medyo may problema tayo doon. Yun, pwede siyang tanungin kung ano ang opinion ninyo. Or bakit. Ano yung bakit? Kailangan masabihin, bakit kayo ganyan nagdesisyon? The dissenting opinion speaks for itself. And tama yun, ano? Yung pinapakita ng depensa nun, although, nakikita din natin na because this is not strictly a trial in the sense na rules of court, yung, teka muna, ano ba ang value ng dissenting opinion? Versus the main opinion o yung opinion of the merits by by the majority.
Pero syempre, ang bottom line na tatanungin sa kanya, do you think Chief Justice Corona showed partiality towards former President Gloria Arroyo? Medyo mahirap ata sagutin yun.
Which is the bottom line ng article.
Oo.
Madaling tanungin, madaling sagutin, hindi ko alam kung itatanong at hindi ko alam kung isasagutin. Yun eh. Di ba? Tayong lahat, yun ang gusto nating malaman.
Kasi tinanong kay Justice Secretary Laila de Lima yun. No? That was, I think, the toughest question she had to face. Pero kung tatanungin naman kay Justice Sereno yun, kailangan paghandaan niya. At syempre, kailangan balansehin rin niya kasi nagpalabas na ng mga statement ang defense team. Sinabi nila, abay, kung magte-testify siya, bubusisiin rin natin yung kanyang statement of assets and liabilities. No?
Wow. But maybe hindi naman siguro pareho din ng DOJ Secretary de Lima, who we know is an alter ego of the President, a member of the Executive Department. Si Justice Sereno, iba. She's supposed to be in the middle, unbiased, impartial, and she's still going to show that, I can imagine. So asking her na diretsuhang ganyan and casting, no, outrightly casting an opinion against the Chief Justice, if I can venture an opinion, she's going to do it gingerly. Meaning, you know,
dahan-dahan.
Yes.
Ayun nga ho, nabanggit nyo kanina, kunwari mag-testify nga si Justice Sereno, we can expect another justice to testify for the defense.
Or other justices.
Or other justices. Ano ho ang magiging ultimate effect nun sa Korte Suprema?
Masaya. Exciting sa atin. Well, nakikita natin yung kung anumang division, kung meron man. Normally, ang division sa mga kaso lang, ayon sa kanilang mga pananaw ukol sa batas at saka application nito, ngayon talagang rift na within the Supreme Court, mas lalo yata magiging malalim yon. Magiging versus na yan. Medyo malaking, malaking impact yan sa dynamics ng Supreme Court tuwing nagdedesisyon sila ukol sa isang kaso. Mahirap yon. Madali kasi mag-associate, yung kaso niyan. Kahit hindi political ang ang implication ng mga kaso. Pwede mong sabihin, yung party yan, associated kay ganyan. Wow, we can imagine the implications.
As if hindi na masaya enough, mayroon pang isa pang impeachment complaint na niluluto, di ba, sa Kongreso. At ito yun naman yung kay Justice Mariano del Castillo tungkol nga sa plagiarism issue na kinopya niya umano ang kanyang desisyon regarding the comfort women dito sa isang foreign document. Is plagiarism really, malaking kasalanan ba ang plagiarism in this era of cut and paste?
Uy, ano yan?
Di ba, dali, cut and paste.
Pwede na yan, okay na.
Diba?
Sa totoo lang, there's nothing really wrong with cut and paste. As long as you attribute, kasi pwede ka naman nagko-quote. Yun eh. But whether or not, plagiarism, or in this case nga, the failure to attribute, which is tantamount to plagiarism or intellectual dishonesty, kailangan magkaroon, una, ng high crime ba yan? Yung laging tinatanong.
Kasi it seems puny compared to the stuff that we're talking about now, na mga, di ba, partiality, mga ganyan.
Yes.
Ngayon pinag-uusapan natin integrity basically. No? Yun ang kinakast nila kay CJ Corona. Pero pagdating naman sa intellectual dishonesty, it has something to do with competence and integrity as a person making decisions on our lives. Yun eh. Iba sa integrity as a person, ito integrity as a person plus yung intellectual, yung impact sa kanyang intellect.
Professor, napabilis yung 1 hour na hiningi ng panel ng depensa. Balik po tayo sa impeachment trial.
Mr. President, yes, we have conferred with both the prosecution and the defense. And with the concurrence of both, we may suspend the cross-examination on the current witness that we have, the present witness we have, who is the cameraman of ABS-CBN, Mr. Edmond Losalia. And so that the prosecution may be able to continue with presenting another witness. If they both concur with this proposal, we may continue without having to wait for an hour or so, or maybe 1 day, depending on how long it will take the lead counsel of the defense to arrive. We may recall the other witness later on.
What is the pleasure of the prosecution?
We are amenable to that proposal, Your Honor, please.
In other words, the cross-examination of the
cameraman, Your Honor,
cameraman of ABS-CBN be suspended pending the arrival of the Chief Defense Counsel. In the meantime, the prosecution will continue to present their witnesses, and when the Chief Defense Counsel will arrive, we will recall the witness to the stand.
Yes. We agree, Your Honor.
So as
to save time,
for cross-examination.
Maybe hear from the defense, Mr. President.
We have no objection, Your Honor.
Okay. The cross-examination of the witness on the witness stand is suspended until the arrival of the Chief Defense Counsel. In the meantime, the prosecution may proceed to present their next witness.
Your Honor, our next witness will be presented by Attorney Claro Mamaril, Your Honor.
Bring him to the courtroom and swear him or her to testify.
Mr. President, members of the Honorable Impeachment Court, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Our next witness for the prosecution, Your Honor, is Ms. Elenita Gatbonton.
Well, bring her to the courtroom, swear her, and the prosecution may proceed to present her.
Mr. President, they're fetching her from the
Yes,
holding
we
room.
will
I
wait.
think.
We will wait for her.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Madam Witness, please stand up and raise your right hand to swear. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in these impeachment proceedings?
Yes, sir.
So help you God.
All right. Prosecution may proceed.
Good afternoon, Ms. Lenita Gadbonton.
Good afternoon.
Will you please state your name again for the records and your other personal circumstances?
I'm Elenita Gigat Bunton. I'm the Presidential Staff Officer 6 of the Malacanang Records Office.
May I make a manifestation, Your Honor?
Proceed.
We have examined the list of witnesses submitted by the prosecution. This witness is not among them.
Prosecution?
We will explain that in due time, Your Honor. I mean, right away.
Explain, so that avoid surprises.
Well, I was going to ask the witness, Your Honor, why she is here this afternoon, and can I ask her now so that she will be able to explain?
If Your Honor, please, this witness is not appearing on the strength of a subpoena issued by this court. And she is not also listed in the list of witnesses.
Well, let us be liberal. The witness, as far as I'm concerned, I will allow this witness to testify. Anyway, the defense are very able lawyers. You can crack her story if she has there's any reason to do it by cross-examination. Proceed.
We submit, Your Honor.
Yeah.
In fact, if we may say so, Your Honor, I think we have made a reservation regarding compliance.
Yes, the prosecution has control in the manner of presenting its case. And in fact,
thank you, Your
you
Honor.
should not be using too much the subpoena powers of this court. So you can bring your witnesses and if they're voluntarily willing to appear.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Ms. Gatbonton.
Yes, sir.
Why are you in the impeachment court this afternoon?
I'm here to represent Director Marianito M. Dimandal, the Director of Malacanang Records Office, who is currently in Cebu City for a lecture.
He was the one originally subpoenaed by the court,
in
isn't it?
compliance with the subpoena.
For brevity, Your Honor, we will, if Your Honor please, we would like to identify all the
Yes.
Your Honor. Yes, the purpose why we are presenting this witness, Your Honor, is to authenticate the service records of the Chief Justice while he was a member of the staff of the former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
So this witness is being presented simply to authenticate documents.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
If Your Honor, please, may I make a manifestation. If the witness is going to authenticate service records of the respondent while he was not yet a Chief Justice or even a Justice of the Supreme Court, then these documents are immaterial, impertinent, and irrelevant to this proceeding.
So what is the materiality and relevancy of these records with respect to the impeachment of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court? Counsel.
These records are being introduced, Your Honor, to prove that
that he committed venalities before he became a Chief Justice became a justice
Where
of
one
the
of
Supreme Court?
one of the complaints under Article 7, Your Honor, is that the respondent has betrayed the public trust through his partiality in granting a temporary restraining order. Just the partiality we would like to...
In other words, you have to show the closeness of the Chief Justice with the occupant of Malacanang at that time.
Yes, Your Honor, because he would not be in the position that he is now if he was not appointed by the former president, Your Honor. We have actually 5 documents, Your Honor, and for brevity, I would like to ask if it is possible for us to just identify all the documents which have already been postmarked.
Yeah.
The documents that we're going to present, Your Honor, are Non-Opol Exhibit W.
They're all pre-marked.
They are all pre-marked, Your Honor.
So, all right, then identify them in the sequences that they were marked by you.
That is what I was
All right,
about to do,
proceed.
Your Honor. Exhibit Non-Opol W, Exhibit Non-Opol X.
What is that? What is that document?
The Exhibit Non-Opol W is the complete service records of the Chief Justice, Your Honor.
Present it to the witness, show it to her, find out if she knows anything about it, and if she vouches that that is a part of the record of Malacanang.
Ms. Garbonton, I'm showing you a document marked as Non-Opol X from the Office of the President of the Philippines. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
And what is this document about?
This is a certified copy of the service record of Chief Justice Corona when he was connected in OP.
He was the service record of one Renato C. Corona, who worked in Malacanang.
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next is Non-Opol, Exhibit Non-Opol X, dated January 22, 2001, which is the appointment of one Renato C. Corona as presidential advisor, Your Honor. Can I show it to the witness?
Go ahead. Go ahead. He was appointed as what?
As presidential advisor with the rank of secretary, Your Honor.
Advisor on what?
Presidential advisor with the rank of secretary. That is what is written here.
Mark it.
Ms. Garbonton, have you seen this document before?
When was that appointment made?
It was made January 22nd, 2001, Your Honor.
When was the Justice Corona appointed to the Supreme Court?
There are other documents there.
Right.
I'm coming to them, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Have you seen this document before, Ms. Garbonton?
Yes, sir.
And what is this document about?
A certified copy of the appointment paper of Honorable Renato C. Corona as presidential advisor.
Thank you. The next exhibit, Your Honor, is Non-Opol Exhibit Y, dated April 9, 2002, It is the appointment of one Renato C. Corona as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines, Your Honor. Approaching the witness.
That's also a record of Malacanang.
Yes, Your Honor, it's
All right.
from Malacanang. Ms. Galbandon, I'm showing you a document. Are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
And what is this document about?
A certified copy of the appointment paper of Honorable Renato C. Corona as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court.
What's the date of that appointment?
The date is April 9, 2002.
All right.
Our last two documents, Your Honor, is...
Okay. At mga kapuso, dumako po muna tayo sa Korte Suprema kung saan may press briefing si Supreme Court spokesman Maidas Marquez. Panoorin po natin ito.
In one of the cases, the respondent is the Senate of the Philippines represented by Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. So this is a new inhibition. No? The Chief Justice participated in the main case, and that is why the voting was 8-7. No? But in the resolution of the MR, since the Chief Justice has inhibited, the voting is now 8-6. So same voting, except that the Chief Justice has inhibited. Okay. Next. Sometime February 15, the court received 2 subpoenas for 2 of its employees. These are the court process servers who attempted to issue or serve the TRO on the DOJ. In that case of the former president. So the 2 court employees were issued a subpoena. But since subsequently the court came out with a resolution, February 14 resolution, saying that the court has judicial privilege, especially insofar as cases or pending cases are concerned. And therefore, the 2 subpoenas were referred to the court en banc. So the court will be issuing a resolution regarding this, expressing its sense that it is not waiving its judicial privilege in this matter. It is not waiving its judicial privilege on this matter, and therefore the 2 court employees have been advised not to appear before the impeachment court.
Could you have their name?
I'm sorry, I cannot give you their names later. I'm sorry. Ha? Wala pa eh. Malalaman yung top 10 bukas pa. Ano si Justice Sereno? Ha? Ano? Ay. Well, we will leave that to Justice Sereno. I have not spoken with Justice Sereno. I don't know what her thoughts on the matter are. Yes. Yes.
Yung process server, sir, who served it November 16, pinag-uusapan na sir. The day that it was actually served.
16, hindi ba 15 yun?
No, kasi 15, there was an attempt.
Yun. Yung dalawang process server na yun. On November 15, they attempted to serve, di ba? Past 5 p.m. So those 2 process servers were issued subpoenas.
Sir, but it was mentioned by the prosecution that they are actually just a driver and a security guard. So is the SC now saying that they were actually process servers?
The subpoena I saw indicated that they were process servers. I will have to verify if they were just maybe sometimes processor drivers, maybe the item is chauffeur, but their work is really they work really as process servers. So maybe the item is just chauffeur. I'll have to verify that.
But you're sure about the date, sir? 15 to 16?
Hindi, kasi nakalagay doon they attempted to serve. Tapusin ko na yung isa pa, meron pa isang news. The court also appointed a new deputy court administrator, and that is in the person of Regional Trial Court Judge of Manila, Tony Eugenio. So he's now the new deputy court administrator. In place of Deputy Court Administrator Villasor, hindi pa, Edwin Villasor, who retired a few months ago. So there's one more vacancy, the position vacated by the late DCA Ninfa Vilches.
How is the DCA appointed, sir? What's the process?
Well, the position is open for application. It is posted for 10 working days to invite applicants, and thereafter the en-banc chooses by voting. 9, 3, 1, and then 2 justices were leave. Tama ba? 9, 3, 1. So, Judge Eugenio garnered 9 votes.
Sir, what about the petition of Chief Justice?
I'm sorry?
What about the petition of Chief Justice?
Well, the impeachment cases were also included in the agenda today, but the court is still awaiting comment on the petition filed by the Chief Justice. Yung isa nakakuha isang vote. There are, I think, 11 aspirants. There were 11 aspirants for the office of or the position of DCA, Deputy Court Administrator. So out of the 11, only 3 got votes. Judge Eugenio got 9, the other 2 got 3, and then the other 1 got 1. Okay? What else?
May regularities ba doon na
Saan?
Doon sa pagdadala ng sampina dahil driver lang daw karasa?
Hindi. Baka lang kasi, I'll have to verify that. Baka lang kasi yung item driver or chauffeur. Pero ang trabaho niya talaga, process server. Pwede naman yun eh.
Basta court employee?
Court employee na marunong. Well, the Chief Justice received an invitation, but he has been advised by not to attend anymore, so as not to so that he won't be accused of being there we've been receiving a number of comments that he might use this for political purposes. So he was advised not to attend it anymore. But just the same, he extends his congratulations to the INC.
There's other justices invited?
I think all of the justices were invited. Are you going? I might go. I also received an invitation. mga ibang justices, no? At saka yung mga malapit sa kanya. That was my information, although I was not able to talk to Justice Sereno personally. Hindi ko alam. Ang alam ko, parang binigyan lahat eh. No? Salamat sa tanong mo. By some of the justices and those who are close to the Chief Justice.
Justice Sereno, kung kunyari pag-volunteer siya pumunta sa Senate, may malalabag ba siya dun sa report?
Well, I don't want to preempt that situation. I don't want to think of whatever possible violations. I'm sure that if and when the good justice decides to attend, she will have her reasons therefore. No? So we'll leave it to her.
Does she have to ask the example?
Well, that is if we're going to follow the resolution of the court issued February 14, 2011, it is clearly stated that the privilege, the judicial privilege belongs to the court, and therefore it is the court which can waive the privilege. It does not belong to any individual justice nor court official, and therefore should there be a waiver, the waiver should come from the Supreme Court. And the court can only waive if that particular issue is brought before the court. Okay? That is right, because that's a form of a testimony. Well, nag-NBank kanina, no? Pero hindi pa naman naisama sa NBank yun. No? Depende yon kung padadala sa NBank yun. Nakita niyo ba yung sulat? Meron ba talaga sulat? Buti pa pala kayo. Okay. Thank you.
Hindi mo na yung malabo na kasi bakit next week yung schedule sa Thursday invite para sa kanya?
Well, pwede naman padala yan doon sa sa clerk of court, and then the clerk of court, kung talagang urgent, there can be some remedies. Testimony. To the court.
So what about that dissenting opinion of the Good Justice Renato, which contains privilege information? Is it not a violation?
Well, that is already a dissenting opinion that was already issued. So we have to that has already been promulgated. So we will have to leave that already where it is.
At yan po ang press briefing ni Supreme Court Administrator at Spokesman Maidas Marquez. Sinabi niyang hindi raw bibitawan ng Korte Suprema ang judicial privilege nito sa pagbabawal sa mga mahistrado at kawani nito na dumalo sa impeachment trial ni Chief Justice Corona.
Hindi pinahintulutan ng Korte na humarap sa paglilitis ang dalawang process servers ng Korte. Matatanda ang nagpadala na ng imbitasyon ng prosekusyon kay Associate Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno na tumistigo sa impeachment trial. Sinabi rin niya ang inimbitahan ng Iglesia ni Cristo sa Grand Evangelical Mission ng lahat ng mahistrado, pati na si Atty. Marquez. Gayunman, pinayuhan daw si Corona na huwag nang dumalo sa pagtitipon para hindi makulayan ng politika.
Bago nito, inanunsyo rin ni Marquez na 1,913 din ang nakapasa sa bar exams noong nakaraang taon.
At sa punto pong ito, balikan natin ang impeachment proceedings sa Senado.
Order ko na mag-standby daw kami doon dahil mayroon daw siyang order na parang mag-standby kami doon dahil aalis si GMA. May posibilidad na umalis daw. So standby lang daw po kami. Sabi ng reporter ko.
Sino nagsabi sa iyo?
Si Sen Hernandez po yung reporter ko.
Sige. Your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor, for that. So anong sinabi sa iyo ulit nung ni Sen Hernandez?
Standby lang daw po kami doon.
Mga anong oras po ito?
Mga 4 o'clock.
At nung nag-standby po kayo, anong sunod po nangyari?
Wala na.
Teka muna, 4 o'clock ng umaga, 4 o'clock.
PM po. PM.
4
Hapon po.
o'clock hapon.
Opo.
Okay. Oh.
Ano po nung habang andun po kayo sa airport, ano po ang inyong ginagawa?
So nag-observe lang sa paligid habang nagpi-feed kami ng materials na na-cover na namin nung unang storya namin. Hanggang naghihintay lang po ng sitwasyon.
Dumating ba si dating Presidente Arroyo doon nung oras na yon o pagkatapos ng oras na yon?
Ang tatandaan ko po, medyo madilim na. Gabi na po nung
dumating ba?
Opo.
Anong oras nung dumating?
Hindi ko po natatandaan yung oras.
Sige.
Kahit mga estimate lang po, anong anong panahon nung gabi na yun ang sinabi mo?
You cannot remember. You already answered, Your Honor.
Hindi ko po sigurado kung ano.
Madilim na ba yun?
Madilim na po yun.
Madilim ng gabi.
Opo, madilim na po yun.
Pwede ho ba kayo magbigay ng estimate kung anong oras po nung gabi
You already answered, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we're just
Cannot
asking for
remember.
an estimate, Your Honor.
Let him answer. Kung alam niya. Alas 7,
mga 8
alas
po,
8,
mga 8 to 9.
8 o'clock.
Opo.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ng gabi, sigurado ka?
Opo.
More or less?
More or less 8 to 9 po.
8 to 9.
Opo. Pagitan
Between
po.
8 to 9.
Opo.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sige.
At nung dumating po si GMA, ano po ang inyong ginawa?
Natural po, sinutan namin.
Paano niyo po siya sinut?
Na-record ko na po yung camera ko. Sinut ko na siya.
Ano po yung
Teka muna. Kinunan din nyo ng video.
Sorry po, Your Honor.
Si Mrs. Arroyo nung dumating dun sa airport between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the evening of November 15, 2011.
Opo, Your Honor.
All right, okay. Tapos.
Pwede mo ba ikwento kung paano dumating si GMA nung between 8 at 9?
Objection, Your Honor. That calls for a narration.
It's all right. I'll let him answer. Don't be jumpy. Preliminary
Habang naka-standby po kami doon sa airport, sa lobby ng departure, so nag-observe kami kung may darating na convoy or basta maraming sasakyan ng mga VIP or basta pwedeng sakyan ng isang VIP. So nag-observe lang po kami doon hanggang sa may napansin po kami na papalapit na po na convoy na with ambulance. So in-expect ko na po na doon na nakasakay kasi ambulance po yan. Nung nakarating na po sa lobby yung ambulance, nakita ko po St. Luke's yung van. Kinunan ko na po, hindi ko na po siya, hindi na po ako nag-off record. Tuloy-tuloy na po yung recording ng camera ko hanggang sa makababa si dating
Kinunan mo ng video.
Yung convoy po.
Yung convoy at nandun ang sakay ng convoy si Mrs. Arroyo.
That time po, Your Honor, hindi po ako sigurado kung siya po yun.
Kaya nga, pero lumabas si Mrs. Arroyo dun sa convoy.
Sa ambulance po, nung huminto na
Sa
po.
ambulance?
Opo.
At kinunan mo siya?
Opo.
Ano pa?
Thank you, Your Honor. Nabanggit mo na nakunan mo si Gloria Macapagal Arroyo na bumaba sa ambulance. Nasaan yung nakunan mong video na ginamit, na nakunan mo?
Pinid na ho namin yung sa ENG van. So, from my camera sa CF card, pinid na namin sa van na naka-standby doon. So, bali, pinid na ho sa opisina, sa base.
Kinunan mo ng video si Mrs. Aquino.
Opo.
Arroyo. Sorry, slip of the tongue. Kinunan mo ng video si dating Presidente Macapagal Arroyo.
Opo, Your Honor.
Nung bumaba sa ambulansya doon sa airport.
Opo, Your Honor.
Anong airport?
Ninoy Aquino International,
Alright.
Terminal 1 po.
At may kinunan mo, gaano katagal mo kinunan?
Hindi ko na po maalala kung ilang
Anyway,
kung ilang minuto yun.
Nasa iyong video.
Nasa library na po, nasa news library na po. Sinabit mo sa ABS-CBN. Opo, Your Honor.
Sige.
Thank you, Your Honor. Bago ako pumunta sa video, nabanggit po kanina nakita mo si GMA. Sino ang mga kasama niya na lumabas sa ambulansya?
Hindi ko na matandaan.
Marami ho bang mga tao ng...
Maraming tao, crowded yung area talaga. Maraming media, maraming tao, marami.
Bakit kilala mo si Gloria Macapagal Arroyo?
Presidente po si natin dati. So, nag-cover na rin po kami sa kanya dati. Na-interview na rin po namin siya.
Salamat po. Nabanggit niyo po kanina na yung video na inyong kinunan. Sinabi na po namin ang inyong kumpanya. At kung ipapakita ko ho ba yung video na ito na inyong nabanggit, makikilala niyo po ba siya?
Siguro po yun. Opo, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may we present the video that was identified by the witness, which was previously marked as exhibit of...
The witness has not yet identified. The question was precisely whether he could identify it. Now, counsel is saying he already identified.
Your Honor, we were going to ask him to identify it after he has seen it, Your Honor.
Well, you bring the videotape first and...
Yes, Your Honor.
And show it to the witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Proceed.
Can we ask the Secretariat please to please play the video?
If Your Honor, please, manifestation. The witness, the counsel should first show to the witness the video card, which we understand contained this video record of video clip, Your Honor. You should not immediately show the content of that video clip.
Dapat pinakita mo yung video tape mo na kung tape yun o anuman.
Yes, Your Honor, but to expedite the process, we're going to remove...
Anyway, I allow it just for expeditiousness. We cannot deny that these things happened anyway. Come on.
We submit, Your Honor.
All right.
Me too.
All of these are public knowledge. It was shown over and over again on television. So proceed.
Your Honor, can we just ask a stipulation from the opposing counsel to stipulate the authenticity
If they
of the
want,
video?
if they will agree, you may.
What is the matter to be stipulated on?
That the video that he took is the video that he mentioned that he took is the same video that we are presenting right now.
We have not even been shown the...
You show it to them.
Then please look at the video.
Yeah, we have to first be shown the card that contains this video recording.
We can do that, Your Honor. After we play this, we can remove the CD and we can then ask the witness or another witness to identify the compact disc.
I think nobody can deny that these things happened. It happened in front of all the television camera, what do you call this, TVs of the whole entire nation and in the world. So, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I will allow it to be presented. So, and let's see whether it's material to this proceeding.
Takbo ka ng krukad, kunin mo yung cellphone kong isa, yung pula. Takbo ka kasi mamatay na to. Kunin niyo, dali. Kasi baka tayo lahat nandito eh. Hello? Oh. Tara, dali mamamatay yung phone ko ah.
Mahaba ba ito? Mahaba? Is this long?
Your Honor, it's only for 5 minutes. I think we are now...
Go ahead. Finish it. You know, you cannot deny that these things happen. The one appearing there as Mrs. Gloria Macapagal Arroyo is not a ghost. So, she traveled all the way from St. Luke's all the way to the airport. So, these are facts. National facts known to the consciousness of the entire nation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That is true, Your Honor. But the presentation of these facts must follow the rules.
Correct, I agree. But what rule is being violated by the way counsel?
The rule on authentication, Your Honor, because we have not even been shown the card from which...
Then let's wait until they finish the presentation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Mr. Witness, ano po ang relasyon ng video na ito na nakita niyo nating video ngayon?
Alam mo, ako na magtanong para madali.
Sige, Your Honor.
Nakita mo yung video?
Opo, Your Honor.
Yung bang video na yun, sinong kumuha?
Ako po, Your Honor.
Ikaw?
Opo.
Yung ba ay kailan mo kinuha?
Noong November 15 po yan. 2011.
Saan?
Sa airport po, sa NAIA 1 po.
Ito yung sinabi mo na kinuha mo sa oras na pagitan ng alas 8 ng gabi at alas 9 ng gabi.
Opo, Your Honor.
Oh, tungkol kanino?
Kay CGMA po.
Oh, sige, yun. Boss.
May mga nakita rin po kami ibang tao doon sa video. Kilala niyo po ba sila?
That's vague, Your Honor.
O sige, babaya mo na. Kilala mo ba yung mga nandun, na mga tao?
Hindi po, Your
Yung
Honor.
mga kasama ni GMA.
Hindi po.
Hindi niyo na po kilala po.
Yung IEC counsel, I'm not criticizing you, but you are overburdening your witness with details of which he is incompetent. He is just a cameraman. He does not know who is there. He's just taking picture
Yes,
of
Your Honor.
President,
Thank you.
former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But anyway, go ahead.
We will proceed, Your Honor. Nung sinabi mo nakunan mo tong video na to at sinabi mo yung recording, ay anong ginawa mo doon sa video na iyong na-record?
Alin po yung...
Nung nabanggit mo kanina, nung kinunan mo tong video na to at may recording ka nakuha, anong ginawa mo doon sa recording na yun?
Nung nakapasok na si CGMA sa loob ng airport, so nagpahinga lang kaming saglit, and then required na po kami na i-turn over ng CF sa ENG van para ma-feed na yung materials, yung raw materials, para magamit na po ng office.
Ano po tong CF card po na?
Ito po yung bagong bagong bala ng camera, ng compact flash.
Tapos ano po ang ginawa ninyo doon sa CF card na nasabi ninyo?
Pinid na po sa ABS-CBN.
Kanino po siya napunta sa ABS-CBN? Kung alam niyo lang po. Sino pong pinagbigyan niyo po sa ABS-CBN?
Hindi ko alam kung sino.
What is the purpose of your question?
Your Honor, the counsel earlier, Your Honor, was questioning the authenticity of the evidence that we just
Are you
presented.
disputing the authenticity of this counsel for the defense of this documentary?
Ano?
Are you disputing it?
The recording itself, Your Honor, they have to authenticate it. But as to the event that happened, is public knowledge. But what we want is they comply with the procedure.
All right, go ahead if you want to
authentication.
Your Honor,
technical about it.
for purposes of authentication, we will have to go to two things, Your Honor. Pursuant to the electronic evidence rule, we need to show the video, which the cameraman has already identified as his own. But after that, Your Honor, since it was a CF card that he actually established as the basis of the recording, we will then have to present, Your Honor, the custodian of the actual CF card, and then present, Your Honor, the person who actually gave the compact disc to this honorable court. So to save on the process, Your Honor, on that process, may we just ask the other party to stipulate if the compact disc that was actually given, Your Honor, by the ABS-CBN is actually the...
Actually, I cannot speak for the defense, but may I address this question? Are you denying the fact that this happened, that it was recorded in this video, and that it depicts of an event? It does not say anything yet about... the only thing it says that an event happened at the
November 15.
On November 15, between the hours of 8 and 9 in the evening, and it is represented here, and that it involves the presence of the former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo at Ninoy International Airport. So, for what purpose, we do not know why she was there. That's all. Do you deny that?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May I extend my apologies to the entire court, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I was marooned on the way. I wanted to fly, but I could not, Your Honor.
We understand. We understand.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, I understand my dear compañero is asking for a stipulation relative to the diskette.
As the authenticity of the compact list that
I'm
was
sorry,
submitted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. We have not seen this diskette. We do not know what the contents thereof are. Although
We just viewed it.
yes, Your Honor, but we do not even know whether what we viewed comes from the diskette, Your Honor.
Actually, Your Honor, may I make a manifestation? Oh, sorry. Senior Brad, go ahead.
Thank you, Brad. Go ahead.
Can you show the diskette to them?
Actually, Your Honor, may I make a manifestation, Your Honor?
Yes.
On February 14, Your Honor, during the pre-marking of exhibits, this compact disc was actually shown to the other counsel, Your Honor. I have the transcript right here. And this was
Yeah, but was there any stipulation relative to what it is?
Yes, Your Honor, but
it was shown and it was marked. That is all what the proceedings will show.
And
we may be going too far, which is beyond what you are asking us to do.
In that case, Your Honor, if they will argue on the authenticity of the compact disc, we will be forced to present the head librarian of ABS-CBN to actually explain how the SF card became a compact disc.
Not that we are disputing what you are trying to claim now, but what we are telling the Honorable Court is that we are not in a position to enter into any stipulation relative to the authenticity of that diskette. Is that beyond our capability, being the defense of the Chief Justice Corona? Or you would like us to just admit whatever you want us to admit? I'm sorry, Your Honor, I should have addressed it to the court, Your Honor. I wanted to accommodate as what the court will notice before. When we are in a position to admit, they are merely asking for a stipulation. We already admit, Your Honor, just to cut short the proceedings, Your Honor. We are sorry that we have gone this far in our attempt to at least make the proceedings entirely conformable to what is known as due process, Your Honor. We never had waived any of our rights, Your Honor.
If they will not stipulate as the authenticity of the compact disc, Your Honor, we will then present the head librarian of ABS-CBN.
Do you have the head librarian here?
Yes, Your Honor, we have her here.
Then bring her.
We have no more questions, Your Honor, to the cameraman.
Do you have any cross on this witness? Or are you going to postpone the cross until you start with the cross of the other?
I wanted to start, Your Honor, just to show our cooperation to the Honorable Court, Your Honor. But definitely we are not in a position to conduct any intelligible cross-examination. We were not privy to the direct examination. May we humbly request, Your Honor?
They did not, well, they only asked whether he took this video. That's all. All that the witness said, I took this video on this day, between these these hours, and it involves the former president. And thus he knew the former president.
We will still, with your apologies, Your Honor, and with the indulgence of this Honorable Court, we will still plead that we be allowed to go over the direct examination of the witness.
So you want to postpone your cross on this witness?
Yes, Your Honor, even by tomorrow. If there'll be no more atrocious
traffic. What is the pressure of the prosecution?
Your Honor, may we ask our lead prosecutor for Article 7 to express his concern?
Yes.
Actually, Your Honor, nagpumayag kami sa proposal ng depensa kanina na hintayin ang defense counsel. Tapos later on, i-direct na lang muna ang witness at subject to cross pagdating. Kasi po gusto naman po naming bilisan, ayaw na po naming humaba pa ang mga testimony po. Simple lang po talagang testimony ng cameraman po eh. Akong kumuha niyan. Ngayon, actually, public knowledge na halos to ang sa airport po eh. Kaya nagulat kami na pati yung authenticity, magpresenta pa kami ng additional witness. So, para sa amin po, kung maaari lang po, siguro, mag-recess ng 5 minutes, tingnan po ng defense counsel, yung transcript, iksi lang naman po ang yung direct ng aming counsel. So,
anyway,
if you can cross na ngayon po, para hindi na ma-postpone.
Para hindi na matatagal pa, I will suspend the cross-examination. Proceed with your next witness.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. The next witness is the next part is the continuation of the cross.
The witness is ordered to stay. Doon bumaba ka sa witness stand at huwag kang alis.
Opo, yung continuation na po ng cross na ni-request ng Defense Counsel po kahapon, ang naka-pending po ngayon.
Ipasok na ninyo yung librarian ninyo para matapos itong issue
Yung
nito.
librarian po, sige po. We would like
para
to...
hindi putol-putol ito.
Opo, sige po. Attorney Alpareño for the...
ebidensya. Call the librarian.
Yeah, maybe ask Ms. Rochelle Inoncilio Mendez to please come to the witness stand.
If that lady is not available yet, Your Honor, may I be permitted to continue with my cross-examination of the previous
No,
witness who
it's
had taken the
better,
stand?
Counsel, for us to finish this while it is fresh in the memory of everyone and finish the presentation of this videotape before the court will allow you to cross-examine the first cameraman of ABS-CBN.
Okay then, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Madam Witness, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this impeachment proceeding?
Opo.
So help you God.
Proceed.
Madam Witness, please state your name and other personal circumstances for the record.
Ako po si Rochelle Inoncilio Mendez, Head ng News Library of ABS-CBN.
Your Honor, we are offering the testimony of the witness to prove the following material allegations found in the complaint, to identify and authenticate electronic evidence for the prosecution, specifically the compact discs which were submitted to the Honorable Court, and other related matters to the impeachment complaint.
By the way, I'll just make a preliminary question so that wala nang maraming. Nung bang November 15, pumasok ka? November 15, 2011, pumasok ka sa trabaho mo? Sa ABS-CBN?
Hindi ko po sigurado, pero kung weekday po, malamang nandun po ako sa ABS-CBN.
November 15, ha? Ngayon, nasa ABS-CBN ka na noong November 15, 2011. Empleyado ka na. Empleyado ka na.
Ay, apo.
Oh, ikaw ang librarian noong araw na yon.
Apo.
Oh, ngayon, ano ang trabaho mo bilang librarian?
Ako po yung in charge to oversee the news library operations. Kami po yung in charge
Ano ang operation ng library ng ABS-CBN?
Kami po yung nagre-release at nagre-receive ng mga CF cards.
Nagre-receive at nagre-release.
Ng CF cards and tapes.
Ano yung CF cards?
CF cards, ito po yung media na ginagamit ng cameraman pagka magko-cover po.
Kung kumukuha sila ng mga video clip.
Opo.
Oh, sige.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nabanggit mo kanina na nagre-receive kayo ng mga CF cards. Paano nyo po siya nire-receive?
Upon return to base, yung cameraman po or yung driver niya, dadalhin sa news library yung CF card. And then kami po, ilalag namin, lalagyan namin ng material number, and then i-turn over po namin o i-forward sa media management room para po ma-ingest or ma-transfer po sa server yung laman.
Mabalik lang ako sandali. Bilang head librarian, ano yung ginagawa mo? Ano yung mga functions nyo po?
Ako po yung in charge to oversee nga po the operations, in-ensure po na merong enough CF cards and tapes sa mga cameraman. Kami rin po yung naglalag at naglalagay ng mga short description, shot list dun sa mga video coverage.
At sino nabanggit mo kanina na kayo rin nag-receive nito, pagka na-receive nyo na to, sino lang ang pwedeng humawak sa mga video clips or sa CF cards na inyong nabanggit?
Ang news library personnel lamang po.
At kanino po nagre-report yung news library personnel po na yan?
Sa head po ng Media Asset Management Department.
Kayo ang custodian ng mga video clips?
Opo.
Nasa library ninyo yan?
Opo.
Oh. Sige.
Thank you, Your Honor. At pag may kailangan po, sinabi mo rin kanina na kayo ang nagre-release ng mga video cards ba ang tawag doon?
CF
cards. Pag may humihingi po ng kopya ng CF cards nito, ano po ang inyong ginagawa?
Kapag may humihingi po ng kopya, usually po nanghihingi kami ng request. And then, based dun sa request po, kung ano po yung nakalagay doon, hinahanap po namin sa logs or sa catalogs namin kung meron kaming ganung video po.
Tapos kung may nakita po kayo ng ganoong videos, ano po ang inyong ginagawa?
Kailangan pa po itong i-approve po ng kung sino po yung nag-cover or yung usually po head po ng news gathering kung pwede namin i-provide pag may nag-request. And then, pag in-approve po, isa-select po namin yung video na kailangan, then ipapadala namin sa dubbing section para po ma-burn into sa CD.
Sa CD po. At napansin po namin kanina sa video na meron nakalagay na naka-inscribe sa taas. Paki-describe po yung, kung natatandaan niyo po yung...
Property of ABS-CBN.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Yung property of ABS-CBN, ano po iyon?
Standard violator po yun sa mga lahat ng nagre-request po ng video sa ABS-CBN.
Nabanggit niyo po kanina na ang binibigay niyo po ay compact disc, tama po ba?
Opo.
Kayo po ay nasabpina ng hukumang ito. Natanggap niyo po ba ito?
Opo.
At ayon po sa sabpina, kayo po ay naatasa mag-submit po sa amin ng 7 compact disc. Dala niyo po ba itong mga compact disc na ito po?
Yung mga compact disc po ay sinabit po namin sa Senate Secretary.
Pag pinakita ko ba itong mga compact disc na ito, ay makikilala niyo po ba ito?
Opo.
Your Honor, may we...
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Approach the witness.
May pinapakita po ako sa inyong compact disc. Cover na compact disc which was previously marked as Exhibit Octuple T-1. Pwede pong paki-describe ko ano po itong label na nasa ibabaw po ng compact disc.
Yung nilabelan po namin ng video 1 para ma-identify po ito po yung number nung nakalagay sa sabpina. So, bali, ina-identify po nito yung about the press briefing po.
Pwede niyo po bang buksan ang compact disc po na yan, compact disc case po na yan? At sa loob po, for the record, may nakikita po tayong compact disc na merong nakalagay na Exhibit Octuple, previously marked as Exhibit Octuple T with the date February 14, 2012, which I am showing to the defense right now. And below that are the words Maidas Marquez, press briefing November 15, 2011. Ano po ang relasyon nitong CD na to sa sinabina po ng korte?
Nandito po yung hinihingi po dun sa sabpina na may mga enumerate po silang mga detalye na nandito po sa CD na ito.
Ito po ba yung video showing the press briefing of Supreme Court spokesman Maidas Marquez on November 15, 2011 ay pinakita po sa atin ni Edmond Losalia?
Apo.
Thank you. May pinapakita po ako sa inyong case ng compact disc entitled Video 2 ABS-CBN, previously marked as Exhibit Octuple U-1 with the date of February 14, 2012. Ano po itong label po na ito sa ibabaw ng compact disc case?
Video 2 po, ibig sabihin, ito po yung number 2 item dun sa sabina.
Ito po ba yung video showing Attorney Ferdinand Topacio's statement on the preparation of payment of cash bond on November 15, 2011 na describe po ni Mr. Edmond Losalia?
Apo.
Sa loob po ng compact disc case po na to, maaari niyo po bang buksan? Ay meron po isang compact disc previously marked Exhibit Octuple U with the date February 14, 2012. Sa ilalim po nito, meron nakalagay na pangalang Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, November 15, 2011. At tapos may nakalagay number 2. Ano po ang relasyon nito sa compact disc na binanggit niyo po kanina?
Nandito po yung video na naglalaman ng statement ni Attorney Topacio.
Pwede pong i-clarify, nakalagay po dito kasi DVD. Ano ho ba yung difference ng DVD sa kayong compact disc na binabanggit nyo kanina?
Hindi po ako masyadong sa technical para po ma-explain kung ano yung difference po ng CD at DVD. Pero lahat po kasi ng format na nire-release ng ABS ay DVD.
So ito yung lahat ng binabanggit mo kanina na compact disc, ito po ay ito rin po ay DVD. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
May pinapakita po ako sa inyong compact disc with the words Video 3 ABS-CBN, previously marked as Exhibit Octuple V-1, February 14, 2012. Ano po ang relasyon nito sa video showing the representative of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo about to process the payment of cash bond at the Supreme Court na dinescribe ni Edmond Losalla kahapon po?
Nandito po sa CD na to yung video po na dinescribe nga din po sa item 3.
At pwede pong pakibuksan po itong case po na to.
Ano yung item 3? Item 3 ng?
Yung sa
go ahead.
Yung po yung video na pinapakita yung according dun po sa subpoena na about to process the payment po ng money.
Item 3 ng subpoena.
Yes, Your Honor. Sa loob po nito ay may compact disc previously marked as Exhibit DVD, previously marked as Exhibit Octuple V with the dates February 14, 2012. And below that are the words posting/payment of cash bond at the Supreme Court November 15, 2011. Ano po ang relasyon nito sa sinampina po sa inyong DVD na nabanggit nyo kanina?
Ang CD po nito ang naglalaman nung pong video na nasa item 3 ng subpoena.
Salamat po. May pinapakita po ako sa inyong compact disc case at sa labas po nito may nakasulat na Exhibit Octuple W-1, February 14, 2012, Video 4, ABS-CBN. Anong relasyon po nito sa sinampina sa inyo na video showing the arrival of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo at the airport on November 15, 2011 na ipinakita po ni Danny Piedad kanina?
Itong CD po na to ang naglalaman nung video na pinakita po kanina.
Sa loob po nito ay merong DVD. Ano po itong DVD na to? Previously marked as Exhibit Octuple W, Video 4, February 14, 2012. Below that are the words GMA to NAIA, November 15, 2011.
Nilalaman po nito yung video na sinasabing attempted travel ni CGMA.
Thank you. May pinapakita po ako sa inyong DVD case.
Ano yung sinabi nung witness? Attempted?
Attempted travel.
Attempted travel.
Thank you, Your Honor. May pinapakita po ako sa inyong compact DVD case na merong salitang Video 5 ABS-CBN Exhibit Octuple X-1 February 14, 2012. Ano po itong nakamarka po na ito sa labas?
Video 5 po. Nag-identify po ito dun sa item 5 na nabanggit po sa subpoena. Sa
loob po nito ay merong isang DVD case. Maaari niyo po bang buksan. Sa DVD na po nito ay merong Exhibit Octuple X February 14, 2012. At nakalagay po sa ilalim, arrest of GMA by virtue of warrant of arrest issued by Judge Jesus Mupas. Ano po ang relasyon nito sa nasabpina sa inyo? Item number 5, video of the press briefing of Acting Director Bucayo and the arrest of former Chief Superintendent Joel Coronel on the release of warrant of arrest and the arrest of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Yung CD po na to ang naglalaman nung press briefing on the arrest of CGMA.
Thank you. Dalawa na lang po.
Sino who conducted the press briefing? Who made the press briefing?
Your Honor, according to the subpoena, it is Acting Director, Senior Superintendent James Bucayo, and CRPO, CIDG Chief, and then Senior Superintendent Joel Coronel.
All right.
May pinapakita po ako sa inyong CD case at nakalagay po sa labas ay may label na Video 6 ABS-CBN with the marking Exhibit Octuple Y-1 February 14, 2012. Ano po ang relasyon nito? Ano po ang relasyon nito sa aming hininging video showing Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 16, 2011 in Head Start?
Yung CD po na to ang naglalaman ng item 6 doon po sa subpoena.
Pwede hong mapabuksan ng CD. Sa loob po nito ay meron isang compact disc at sa compact disc na DVD, exhibit
Ano ba yung, nakalimutan ko na, ano ba yung item
6, Your Honor.
sa subpoena?
Your Honor, this is the video showing Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 16, 2011 in Head Start, Your Honor.
Okay.
ANC.
Go ahead.
Ano ang relasyon ng DVD na to sa nabanggit ko po?
Ang DVD po na to ang naglalaman ng statement ni spokesperson Midas Marquez.
Salamat po. At panghuli po, meron po ditong DVD case with the label Video 7 ABS-CBN, previously marked as Exhibit Octopus Z-1. Ano po ang relasyon nito sa aming sinampina, sa sinampina ng court na to na video showing the press briefing of Midas Marquez on November 21, 2011?
Itong DVD po na to ang naglalaman ng item 7 na nakalagay po sa subpoena.
Sa loob po nito ay may isang DVD. Sa DVD po na ito ay merong marking na Exhibit Octopus Z, February 14, 2012, with the word statement of Midas Marquez regarding the TRO issued to GMA on November 20, 2011. Ano po itong DVD po na ito?
Ang DVD po na ito ay naglalaman ng press briefing po ni spokesperson Marquez.
Thank you. Your Honor, one last question. Sa pagprepara po ba ng DV na to ay meron kayong nakasama na taga-prosecution o defense?
Wala po.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, cross.
With the kind permission of the Honorable Court, Your Honor.
Do you want to suspend your cross here?
We will. With the
go
Court's permission, we will proceed with our cross-examination now, Your Honor.
with this lady.
Yes, Your Honor, because we heard her direct examination.
Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, there are magandang hapon po, Ginoong Madam Witness. Meron pong 7 video dito na in-identify kayo. Tama ho ba?
Opo.
At bawat isa sa kanila mayroong label. Halimbawa, yung video A showing press briefing of Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 15, 2011. Tama ho ba yun?
Tama po.
Kayo ho ba ang naglagay nitong showing press briefing of Supreme Court or yung inyong photographer?
Hindi po ako. Yung
Wala kayong kinalaman dyan sa pagkakalagay ng label na yan?
Yung nakasulat po sa DVD mismo, hindi po ako yung nagsulat po.
Ganon din ho ba ang sagot ninyo doon sa musunod na mga video? Halimbawa, video 2 showing Attorney Ferdinand Tupacio's statement on the preparation of payment of cash bond on November 15, 2011. Ganon din po, wala kayong kinalaman doon.
Hindi po ako nagsulat.
At ganon din ang inyong sagot doon sa mga sumusunod na video. Wala kayong kinalaman, wala kayong participation sa nakalagay doong statement. Tama ho ba yun? Opo. Sino po ang sino naglagay po nito? Kung alam ninyo o hindi rin ninyo alam?
Yung dubbing personnel po namin ang nag-label po ng mga DVDs.
Hindi kayo kaharap ng nilalagay yan?
Hindi po.
Nasa inyong opisina kayo?
Opo.
At yun naman sinasabi ninyong yung tao ninyo na gumawa ng labeling nito, hiwalay ang opisina sa inyong lugar. Tama ho ba?
Tama po.
Sa pagkatwid po, kung sinasabi ritong video showing press briefing of Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 15, 2011, hindi ninyo maaring na patibayan na ito nga totoong briefing ni Attorney Marquez. Tama ho ba?
Objection, Your Honor.
What is the objection?
The defense counsel, Your Honor, is asking for a conclusion of law to the witness.
Tinatanong lang niya.
Factual lang. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Go ahead. What is your answer, defense counsel?
Napanood ko po yung naman.
Yung si defense counsel muna. Dahil
I was asking her, Your Honor, for a factual basis, Your Honor. Because there were statements here made that it was a press briefing of Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 15, 2011.
Witness na, sir.
Pagka burn po nito sa DVD, pinanood ko po yung kopya at ikinumpara ko po dun sa source po na video.
Hindi kayo kaharap ng magkaroon ng press briefing na yan.
Hindi po.
Pati yung nakalagay na pecha rito, hindi ninyo alam at hindi rin ninyo mapatutunayan sa husgado na totoo yun. Tama ho ba?
Hindi po.
Hindi po. Ang ibig niyo sabihin hindi, wala kayong kinalaman doon sa press briefing na yon.
Wala po.
Alright. Now, doon po sa sinasabing video number 2 showing Attorney Ferdinand Tupacio's statement on the preparation of payment of gas bond on November 15, 2011. Hindi rin po kayo kasangkot dyan sa video na yan.
Hindi rin po.
Ang nalalaman lamang ninyo, may inintriga sa inyong DVD ba yun? Compact this for your safekeeping as librarian of ABC. Tama ho ba yun? Tama ba? Tama po.
Opo.
Tama, alright. Now,
Sandali lang. Anong kaiba ng CF card at saka yung DVD?
Yung CF card po, compact flash, maliit lang po siya na memory card na ginagamit po sa camera po.
Iba yun sa compact disc na yan.
Iba po. Yung DVD po, ito po yung ginagamit naming media pag po magpa-provide kami ng copy ng videos.
Sige. Go ahead.
Alinsunod sa inyo, kung tama ako, ang pagkaunawa ko, ni-review ninyo itong, DVD ba ang tawag po dito?
DVD po.
DVD, opo. Ni-review ninyo. Alright. Now, ito pong sinasabi ditong showing Ferdinand Marcos statement. Ferdinand Tupacio's statement. Ito po, may nakita kayong tao. Ganun
Meron
ba?
po.
May nakita kayong tao. Tama ho ba?
Tama po.
Pero hindi ninyo mapatutunayan sa husgado na siya nga si Ferdinand Tupacio. O kilala ninyo siya?
Napapanood ko na po siya sa mga news.
Hindi ho yun ang tanong ko sa inyo. Ang tanong ko, hindi kung yung napapanood, kundi kilala ba nyo siya? Hindi nyo kilala?
Kaya ko pong i-identify si Ferdinand.
Ang ibig nyo sabihin, kilala nyo siya.
Opo.
Ano yung sinasabi ditong statement on the preparation of payment of cash bond? Nasaksihan ba nyo yun?
Hindi po.
Hindi po. So wala kayong kamalay-malay sa kung ano yung transaksyon na nakita ninyo si Ferdinand Tupacio na nasa video na yan. Tama po. Hindi rin ninyo
Sabihin mo lang yung answer
sagutin
mo.
po ninyo.
Sagutin mo.
Wala po akong alam doon.
Hindi rin ninyo alam kung ano yung sinasabing pagbabayad or pagdideposto na ginawa niya. Tama ho ba ako?
Tama po.
May sinasabi ditong cash bond allegedly made or paid on November 15, 2011. Saan ninyo kinuha itong statement na ito kung hindi ninyo alam ang mga pangyayari?
Meron pong ID ang bawat video po. Meron po siyang shot list.
Sa mga ang inyong deklarasyon tungkol dito sa nilalaman ng video nito, batay lang sa inyong nabasa. Wala kayong kinalaman sa katotohanan o kung yan nga ay naganap o hindi.
Tama po.
Tama po.
Your Honor, at this point, may I just make a quick objection, Your Honor?
Yeah, please.
Your Honor, the defense counsel makes statement about wala daw siyang kinalaman dito sa mga bagay na ito, Your Honor. Your Honor, we already presented the cameraman to actually authenticate the events as it transpired. Your Honor, this witness is just being presented to present the actual compact disc.
I'm cross-examining him here, Your Honor, not on the basis of the statement of any witness. That was
Wait a minute, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your witness is under cross. Let the cross-examiner ask the question. I know what you're after, and there is a rule on this.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Proceed.
Allegedly, based on this second video, payment of cash bond was allegedly made on November 15, 2011. I suppose you also have no personal knowledge about this.
Tama po.
And this information came from your cameraman.
Hindi ko po sigurado kung sa kanila po nanggaling.
Saan po nanggaling itong information ninyo relative to the alleged payment of cash bond on November 15, 2011?
Mayroon pong shot list, yung bawat video po, na meron po kaming isang grupo ng writers na naglalagay po ng description.
Pero ang aking pagkakaunawa, wala kayong kinalaman o hindi kayo kasangkot doon sinasabing pagbabayad ng cash bond na yon, more especially on November 15, 2011. Tama ho ba ako?
Tama po.
Tama po, alright. Now, yung pong video number 3, showing the representative of former President Gloria Arroyo about to process the payment of cash bond. Ito bang ito ho ba'y saan ang galing sa inyo? Nakita ho ba ninyo ito? Pangyayari nito?
Hindi po.
Sa mga kapatid, ulat lang sa inyo ito. Ulat lang sa inyo.
Tama po.
Hindi ninyo maaaring patunayan sa husgado o tindigan sa husgado na katotohanan ng nakalagay dito. Tama po? Alright. Now, sino po itong sinasabi ditong representative of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo? Hindi rin po ninyo alam.
Hindi ko po alam yung pangalan. Nilagay lang po namin representative.
Sa inyo nang galing yon. Hindi yun ang ulat, hindi yun ang tunay na pangyayari na siya representative ni former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. Tama po ko?
Tama po.
Tama, alright. Now, yung po sinasabi ditong about to process the payment of cash bond at the Supreme Court. Alam ba ninyo kung saan naganap ito? Kung hindi rin po.
Hindi rin po.
Alright. So itong sinasabi rin, hindi ninyo mapatutunayan totoo sapagkat hindi ninyo nasaksihan. Tama ho ba ako?
Wala po ako dun sa lugar na yon nung
Tama
nangyari.
po. Alright. Thank you po. Now, yung po sinasabi dito sa video D, showing the arrival of former President Gloria Arroyo at the airport on November 15, 2011. Batay po sa inyong salaysay ngayon, ibig kong maniwala ng inyong sasagot, katulad din noong sagot ninyo sa mga unang tanong ko, na wala kayong kinalaman dito, hindi ninyo nasaksihan to, hindi ninyo mapatutunayan ang katotohanan nito. Tama ho ba ako?
Tama po.
Tama po. Alright. Ito pong video E, yung press briefing of SPD Acting Director or Superintendent James Bucayo and NRP CIDG Chief Superintendent Joel Cornell. Kilala ho ba ninyo yung si Director Senior Superintendent James Bucayo?
Hindi po.
Hindi po. Paano nangyari na napalagay po ito dito sa video na yan? Lagay po lang inyong reporter? Yung inyong photographer, gano'n ho ba?
Meron po kaming writer na naglalagay po ng description.
Hindi kayo kaharap ng ginawa yan?
Hindi po.
Hindi ninyo siya tinanong, sino ba yung James Bucayo na yan? Hindi rin po.
Hindi po.
May sinasabi rin din po dito, yung NCRPO, CIDG, Chief Superintendent Joel Cornell, on the release of warrant of arrest and arrest of former President Macapagal Arroyo. Tanong ko sa inyo, alam ba ninyo itong tinutukoy ng mga pangyayari rito?
Wala po akong personal na knowledge doon po sa nangyari.
Inyulat lang sa inyo noong allegedly mga tauhan ninyo doon sa opisina ninyo.
Opo.
Sa mga kapatid, kung ito po totoo hindi ninyo maaaring tindigan sa husgado ngayon.
Hindi po.
Tama, alright. Now, ito pong arrest of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, ito raw po ay isang pangyayaring of national importance. Yun ho ba ang pinagbatayan ninyo kaya napalagay ito dito? O wala kayong kinalaman din dito?
Wala po.
Ang katotohanan, nalaman lang ninyo na naaresto si kagalang-galang na President Arroyo dahil yun na nakalagay sa papers at ibinabalita sa radyo. Tama ho ba yun?
Tama po.
Pero kung paano siya naaresto, kung kailan at kung saan, hindi ninyo matitindigan sa harap ng kagalang-galang na hukumang ito. Tama ho ba?
Tama po.
Ito po sinasabi nitong video showing, paragraph F, Supreme Court spokesman Maides Marquez on November 16 in Head Start. Hindi rin po ninyo nasaksihan ito.
Hindi po.
Batay, ito pong nakalagay ditong statement, wala kayong kinalaman po rito. Naglagay nito, yun lang empleyado ninyo.
Yung statement po, ako po ang naglagay.
Ito po, itong video showing court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 16, 2011. Tama ba yan?
Opo.
Kayo ang naglagay nito? Liwanagin nyo.
Saan niyo po? Hindi po yun yung nilagay ko po. Pwede pong pakiulit.
Oh. Meron pong nakalagay dito sa video app, ano po? Video showing Supreme Court spokesman Midas Marquez on November 16 in Head Start, ANC. Kayo ho ba ang naglagay nito?
Your Honor, may we ask the defense counsel to please show the video that he is asking the witness to identify?
You made her identify all these things subpoena. I'm just reading from the subpoena.
Exactly.
You answer. The witness may answer, Sinos.
Your Honor, yung nabasa niyo po ay yun po yung nakalagay sa subpoena. Hindi po yun yung nanggaling sa amin na description.
Oho. Wala kayong kinalaman dyan. Ibig sabihin, wala kayong participation, hindi kayo naglagay niyan, at hindi niyo alam kung paano napalagay yan dyan. Tama ho ba?
Hindi po.
Ano pong hindi? Hindi niyo alam?
Hindi ko po alam.
Ayun. Now, yung sa magatid po, itong tinutukoy ditong showing spokesman Midas Marquez on November 16, 2011, hindi, alam ba ninyo kung ano yung conference na yun na tinutukoy dito? Baka sakali alam ninyo, pakisabi nga ninyo sa kagalang-galang na hukuman.
November 16.
Ayun po nakalagay dito, binabasa
sa
ko.
Sa Head Start.
Opo. Hindi, wala kayong kinalaman dyan?
Wala po.
Wala, alright. Yung pong isa, yung video showing the press briefing of Midas Marquez on November 21, 2011. Hindi rin ninyo alam to.
Wala rin po ako doon personally.
Yung press briefing na yon naganap na, hindi naman ninyo nasaksihan in person.
Hindi po.
Alright. Hindi ninyo nadinig si Attorney Marquez making the press briefing.
Hindi po.
Yung lugar na pinaganapan ng press briefing, hindi rin nyo alam.
Hindi po.
So, summarizing your statement now, I'm inclined to believe that you came here only to identify the various compact dishes that were presented by the prosecution.
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the basic objection?
What's the pleasure?
Your Honor, that's he is misleading the witness to merely identify, Your Honor, when she is here actually to both authenticate and identify the DVDs.
Actually, if I remember correctly, the prosecution stated into the record that this witness was being presented to identify and authenticate certain
exactly, Your Honor.
Electronic
DVDs.
discs.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think 6 or 7 of them.
Seven, Your Honor.
All right. And that's actually what she did. Isn't it? So,
yes, sir.
She may answer. Go ahead.
Pwede pong pakiulit
Witness
yung
may answer.
tanong.
Sa mga tweet po, pagkakaunawa ko sa kabuuan ng inyong deklarasyon ngayong hapon sa kagalang-galang na hukuman, parang humarap kayo dito para lang identify yung mga ano ba tawag doon?
Identify at i-authenticate yung mga
compact dishes.
Pitong compact dishes na ipresenta ng prosecution sa iyo.
Tama po.
Oh, yun.
I am now inclined to believe that these statements appearing on top of this disc that you identified were merely hearsay insofar as you are concerned because you do not know them personally. Am I right?
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the basis?
What's the objection?
The defense counsel is asking for a conclusion of law. Hearsay, Your Honor, is a statement of law which the witness might not even be familiar with.
There were various preliminary. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, go ahead.
There were previous preliminary questions that this representation made, Your Honor, and there was a clear admission on the part of this witness, Your Honor, that she has nothing to do. She does not know anything about this. So this is merely in summation of the totality of her statement, Your Honor.
You want the chair to rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The witness was presented here as the librarian of the ABS-CBN, whose function was and is to be the custodian of these materials that were seven,
Your Honor. DVDs,
electronic discs.
Yes, Your Honor.
That were presented here and which she identified and authenticated. She was the one who received the CF cards for each of these video clips or compact discs. And she was also the one who released them for the purposes of this proceeding. Is that correct, Madam Witness?
That is correct.
Okay. Now, she is therefore competent to testify about the existence of these materials which are in her custody. To the extent that the compact discs exist and are in the originals of which are in her custody, and that the one presented to the court are faithful reproduction or replication of those original CF cards under her custody as a librarian of ABS-CBN. She is a competent witness to testify on that fact. As to the contents of this compact disc, the real evidence would be the compact evidence themselves. So let the compact disc become a part of the testimony of the witness, and whatever are the impressions depicted in each of the compact discs, the real evidence will be those individual compact discs themselves. So ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If the court, may we make a short manifestation, Your Honor?
Proceed.
If the court will notice, Your Honor, we never dispute, much less do we controvert, that the 7 discs identified by the witness were in her possession by reason of her function as alleged chief librarian of ABS-CBN, Your Honor. What we are contradicting, Your Honor, is the fact that the labeling made do not appear to be made by her personally. She cannot even explain who made this labeling, Your Honor.
Well,
only that particular aspect, Your Honor.
You're correct. You are correct. That to that extent, she herself admitted, that's an admission,
yes,
that she's ignorant of those labeling. And so those are in the record.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the admission of a witness against the one presenting is an evidence adverse to the presenting party, isn't it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But to the extent of the contents of
yes,
the truthfulness or lack of truthfulness, accuracy or inaccuracy of the contents of the disc gets presented to her, you are correct that those are hearsay to her.
Thank you.
Therefore, the real evidence will be the diskette themselves.
Yes, Your Honor.
And those are apparent to any viewer of the diskette.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Were you in any way privy to the subject matter of this
May
case?
I beg your indulgence? Let's suspend the trial for 1 minute.
1 long minute, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Itong si Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile.
Ayan, bakit ano ba tong issue, ma'am, tungkol sa labeling o labeling nitong mga tape na ito, yung authenticity ng mga document? Ano
Bakit kailangan may personal knowledge daw itong news librarian sa materials? Ano ho ba ang punto nito lahat, Professor?
Well, as the evidence was being presented through the witness, ang tawag, by the way, dito, object evidence, no? Ang object evidence, yung subject to the senses of the court. In this case, sight. Pero ano yung nakikita lang? yung CD lang, hindi yung loob. For all you know, hindi natin alam talaga kung ano yung loob nun. Kaya pinapa-explain nga no, ni Attorney Pareño, yung ba yung pinakita kahapon, etc. In other words, yung ba yung laman, o yun yung pinakita. The point now that the defense is trying to make is, yes, we do not dispute the existence of that object evidence. And that those CDs, yung object evidence ngayon, nasa possession niya. Siya nagbigay. No ngayon. Yun yun no ngayon. So what then kung yun ang laman? For me, I don't know. I don't really get why, I don't get it why so much time was spent on this. As JPE was trying to explain, alam na natin lahat yan. Alam natin ng content. It is of national interest, rather knowledge. Baka, in effect, no, parang sinasabi niya, baka gusto niyo mag-stipulate, oo, nandyan yan. Oo, they exist. Hindi nila
Professor, i-connect lang po natin ang pinakitang video, ang testimonya ng cameraman at ng news librarian doon sa Article 7. Ano hong pinatutunguhan ng prosecution dito?
Sa totoo, hindi ko alam. But what they're trying to say now is yung partiality nga. Yung timing, pinapakita in effect yung mga events.
Kasi obviously, meron silang parang jigsaw puzzle na binubuo rito, no? At ang mga pyesa, itong mga testimonya ng doktor, ng yung presko, yung nilalaman ng presko na pinapakita, yung testimonya ng cameraman, nitong video librarian. So how do we piece this together?
Nakalagay sa complaint, no? Ang isa sa mga allegations sa complaint, there was a coordination. Parang there was a coordination between Arroyo and the court so that the court will issue whatever is necessary para makaalis yung isa. Yun. Kaya nagpakita ng mga dates, ng mga events, ng mga nangyari. Parang, tignan nyo, coordinated lahat to. Yung labas ng TRO, ganyan, kunwari, attempt, etc. Yun yung pinapakita.
Bakit talaga bang established na may record speed with which the TRO was granted? Normally ba, ano ba talaga ang timeline ng pag-issue ng TRO?
Sa totoo lang, ang TRO may be issued ex parte tinatawag na hindi kailangan marinig yung mga parties. But in this case, it would appear under the Supreme Court's own rules. Pag inassign na ang isang kaso sa isang ponente, and then it is the ponente now that will recommend whether a hearing is necessary. Pero there was no such hearing. Sino ba yung opponente na yun na...
Si Velasco ba? Is it Associate Justice Presbyterio Velasco?
Well, not Corona, but it was Chief Justice Corona who, according to the prosecution, who maneuvered the situation so that it will be released at a time. Tapos bakit tamang-tama na meron ngang, yun ang sinasabi ng prosecution, tamang-tama na meron nga mga bookings na paalis si GMA that day. In fact, not just one.
Several. Lahat ho ng...
That's right. So parang chinechempo daw na tama-tama kailangan ma-issue yung TRO at about this time para hindi siya makaalis. Yun yung allegation ng prosecution. Kaya pinapakita lahat ito.
Okay, bago natin ipagpatuloy ang ating talakayan kasama si Professor Morales, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang ating balitaan. Umuna ng fact-finding panel ang Department of Justice para formal na imbestigahan ang mga alegasyon ng prison guard na si kabungsuan makilala kay Bureau of Corrections Director Gaudencio Pangilinan. Partikular na pinaimbestigahan ang umano'y paglabag nito sa Government Procurement Act, umano'y pagputol sa historical na mga puno at ang hindi otorisadong paglipat ng mga preso at pag-abuso sa appointing powers. Si City Prosecutor Edward Togonon ang inatasan ni Justice Secretary Laila de Lima na mamuno ng panel. Kasama rin sa panel sa State Counsel Berlin Berba bilang Vice Chairman. Miyembro naman si Chief NBI Anti-Graft Division Head Agent Rachel Angeles. Isusumite ang report ng panel kay Secretary de Lima matapos ang isang buwan. Sa ibang balita, bukas ng alas 2 ng hapon, formal na ilalabas ng Korte Suprema ang listahan ng mga pumasa sa 2011 bar exams. 1,913 examinees o 31.95% ang nakapasa sa pagsusulit. Ayon kay Supreme Court Administrator Attorney Maidas Marquez, ang 2011 bar exams ang ikalawa sa may pinakamataas sa bilang ng pumasa sa mga nakalipas sa taon. Noong 2001, 32.89% ang pumasa. Pinakamababa noong 2002 kung saan 19.68% lamang ang bar passers. Sa ibang balita pa rin, umaasa ang grupong Pasang Mazda na matutuloy na ang pagpapatupad ng panibagong minimum fare na 850 sa susunod na buwan. Ayon kay Obet Marti, National President ng Pasang Mazda, hindi naman talaga ito panibagong hiling ng dagdag sigil dahil ang 850 na increase ay duly approved minimum fare. Ibinababa lang daw nila sa 8 pesos ang minimum fare noon dahil bumaba ang presyo ng petrolyo. Wala pang pahayag ang LTFRB tungkol dito. Nakiusap naman ang Pasang Mazda sa Department of Energy na bago pondohan ng mga dati ng may pantawid pasada cards, lagyan muna ng load ang 500 first batch na card na hindi pa nalalagyan ng load. At yan po ang iba pang malalaking balita sa oras na ito. Balikan natin ang impeachment proceedings.
Nandito na pala si Mr. Rosalia, kaya kanina hindi ko na nakilala siya.
Poging-poging ngayon.
Thank you po. Under the same oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Proceed.
With the court's kind permission, Your Honor.
Proceed.
I recall that when you took the witness stand last time, nung una po kayong tumistigo, ang binanggit ninyo doon sa video ninyo, pangyayaring naganap nung November 15, 2010.
Yes po.
Tama. At yun po
Your Honor, may just make a minor objection, Your Honor. As to the date, since it will go into the record.
Yes.
The counsel mentioned November 2010.
2011.
Yes, 2010. That's what the defense counsel said. It is 2011, di ba?
Yeah, 2000. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yes.
I stand corrected then. Thank you for the for the suggestion.
Correct. Go ahead.
At no, may we continue now, Your Honor?
Please, go ahead.
All right. And yung pong press conference na yun, na inyong kinuna ng video, pagkatapos ng sesyon in bank ng kagalang-galang kataas-tasang hukuman. Tama ho ba yun? O hindi ninyo alam yun?
Pakiulit po yung tanong, sir.
At yung video ninyong, yung pangyayari na kinuna ninyo ng video noong November 15 to 2011, pagkatapos lamang ng session in bank ng kagalang-galang o kataas-tasang hukuman. Alam ho ba ninyo yun o hindi?
Hindi po, sir.
O paano po nagkaroon ng, paano ba nyo nakuna ng video to? Sa sarili ninyong kagustuhan o may nag-utos sa inyo? Utos ng inyong nakataas?
Inutos lang po yun, sir, ng aking reporter na may press con po, kaya po kami tumakbo at nag-transfer po sa Supreme Court building.
Sino po yung...
Saan kayo nang galing?
Sa DOJ Department po.
Dahil malayo yung Korte Suprema. Magkalapit lang, ano?
Halos magkalapit lang po,
sige.
Your Honor.
Sino po yung nagsabi sa inyo na mayroong magaganap na press conference?
Ang reporter ko po na si Miss Ina Reformina.
The way I understood it, she was your immediate superior. Siya po superior ninyo.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now, is there any particular importance of any event that you feel you are supposed to cover on that particular day? Meron ho bang mahalagang pangyayari na dapat ninyong makover na naganap nung araw na yon? November 15, 2011.
Dito po sa duty ko sa Department of Justice tsaka Supreme Court, everyday po kaming nandyan. At kung ano po yung nagiging issue o mga rallies sa labas, kino-cover po namin yon.
Hindi ninyo sinasagot ang aking tanong sa inyo. Ang tanong ko sa inyo ay ganito. Meron ho bang hindi pangkaraniwang pangyayari na naganap noong November 15 na kinailangan coveran ninyo ng video, ng inyong video? O wala?
Wala naman po.
Wala. So hindi ninyo alam kung ano ang inyong coveran na yon?
Hindi pa po.
Alright. Niyon si Attorney Maidas ng Supreme Court, hindi ninyo alam na siya ay magkukomperensya o alam ninyo antimano?
Hindi pa po.
Hindi rin. Hindi rin ninyo alam kung ano ang dahilan at magpe-press conference siya?
Hindi pa rin po.
Nung matapos ninyong makuha ng video yung press conference yan, nalaman ba nyo kung anong dahilan? Bakit siya nag-press conference?
Nalaman ko na lang po na TRO po yon, pero hindi po ako nag-focus doon.
Anong
nag-focus na lang po ako sa video and audio po na kailangan naming ma-feed sa...
Anong ibig ninyo sabihin na laman ninyo TRO yun? Ano pong ibig ninyo ipahiwatig o ipaalam sa kagalang-galang na hukuman?
Dahil po once na nag-set up po kami ng camera, chinecheck po namin ang audio. So, doon po sa pag-monitor namin ng audio na habang nagsasalita si Attorney Maidas Marquez, doon ko po narinig na may binanggit siyang TRO.
So baka pwede yung pong TRO na binabanggit ninyo, nalaman ninyo lamang samantalang nagsasalita na. O nagpe-press conference na si Mr. Marquez.
Yes po.
Kung ano ang nilalaman ng TRO na yan at anong pinagbabawal dyan o anong saklaw niyan, hindi po ninyo alam.
Hindi na po.
Alright. Hindi ninyo rin alam kung paano lumabas yan TRO na yan.
Yes po.
Oo.
Yes, sir.
At ang nalaman lamang ninyo, basta may TRO-ng inilabas.
Yun lang po.
Alright. That will be all. Salamat po ng marami. Thank you very much.
Redirect?
Thank you po, yes, sir.
May redirect ba?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Salamat po.
No, the cross is over. No redirect. The witness is discharged.
Your Honor, we have one more witness.
Salamat.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You have another witness?
We have one more witness for cross.
This is the last one.
Yes, Your Honor. Danilo Piedad.
Bring him in.
May we ask that Danilo Piedad please come to the witness stand. Your Honor, we have...
Yes.
We have the witness here, Your Honor.
Defense counsel, the witness is yours for cross-examination.
Your Honor, please. This is the same witness, Your Honor, where I beg the indulgence of the Honorable Court to allow me to go over the transcript of his direct examination. I was not around, Your Honor, and neither had I heard whatever he stated, Your Honor. So in fairness to him and to the impeached public official, the Honorable Chief Justice Corona, may I be permitted to cross-examine him tomorrow, Your Honor, just so I can go over the transcript.
Yeah, that's a fair and reasonable
Your Honor,
request.
with all due respect to the defense counsel, there are other lawyers who were present during the direct examination of this witness. Maybe they can cross-examine the witness so they can be discharged already.
That is the privilege of the defense counsel. He is the one in charge of his panel. He determines who will cross-examine and who will not. So he's the one cross-examining. He was not here during the direct examination. And he needs time, according to him, to go over the transcript.
Your Honor, if I may I give the floor to our lead prosecutor for Article 7 to explain how we are going to handle our Article 7 case.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor actually described the testimony of the witness, and if the defense counsel would agree, we give him time to read the transcript. It's very short, I'm sure, Your Honor. Tapos we want to finish this case, Your Honor, as soon as possible. Kung ayaw na naming pahabain pa po ito, simple lang po ang testimony ng witness. Sinabi niya lang na ako ang kumuha ng picture na yon, nag-shoot ako doon, at ito yung lumabas. Ganun naman po ang aming sana napagbigyan namin kanina ang depensa na humingi sila na i-reset, ihintayin, ituloy yung direct. Ito naman po, simple lang pong hiningi namin. Ituloy ang cross ngayon para matapos na po ito.
Bakit ba? Ngayon, nag-aapuro tayo. What is the pleasure of the Defense Counsel?
Well, I really was not around, Your Honor, when the witness testified. Whatever representation my learned counsel colleague may have in mind, certainly will be a violation of our right to due process, Your Honor. Pare ba yung palagi na lang manifestation, ganito, inaapura and so on? Para bang all the delay comes from the defense, Your Honor? There were many instances, Your Honor, when they were not in a position to proceed. We were very liberal and magnanimous enough to accommodate all their requests, Your Honor. I do not deserve this kind of...
So you're not ready to cross?
I am not ready, Your Honor, to conduct an intelligible cross-examination.
We cannot compel the lawyer, the defense counsel to do the cross unless...
We submit, Your Honor.
All right. So what's the pleasure? You want to a continuance for this witness?
If the court so allows, Your Honor,
Yes.
may we be allowed to cross-examine him tomorrow after we have done.
The request of the defense counsel is granted. The witness is instructed to come back tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the resumption of the trial of this impeachment case to testify for cross-examination.
Your Honor, please.
Yes.
May we ask a clarificatory question, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yesterday, there was a statement from this honorable court that the clerks of court of both the Supreme Court and the impeachment court will discuss the request of the prosecution na maisubpina man lang sana o mapapunta dito ang mga administrative officers po like the clerk of court, yung security guard, driver. May we know kung ano po ang resulta po nun?
I would like to request the clerk of court to inform the court and the prosecution and as well as the defense counsel about what happened during her meeting with the clerk of court of the Supreme Court. Attorney Emma.
Thank you, Your Honor.
According to Attorney Vidal, the per curiam resolution of the Supreme Court dated February 14, 2012 provides that the same rules on confidentiality that apply to justices and judges also apply to all court officials and employees, and said restriction cannot be waived except upon approval of the Supreme Court. Thus, Attorney Vidal committed to immediately inform the Supreme Court of the matter by including the same into today's en banc agenda of the Supreme Court. While the action of the Supreme Court will, according to Attorney Vidal, be made known to her at the soonest today afternoon or Wednesday morning yet, the official resolution on the same will still be available by next week because they will have the resolution approved by the Supreme Court, which they will draft. Thus, it was suggested that perhaps she may be able to obtain a verbal authorizations without awaiting a written resolution of the Supreme Court to ensure that the named court personnel may not be cited for contempt. Attorney Vidal agreed to secure, if possible, even just a verbal authorization from the Supreme Court and advised me accordingly. If the two witnesses will be allowed to appear before this court and personally explain why they cannot testify pending the issuance by the Supreme Court of a waiver, if any, would be issued. But then this morning, I called her up again, and according to her, even a verbal authorization was denied by the Supreme Court. So still by next week, we will be informed of the resolution of the waiver of the Supreme Court, if any. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po.
The minority floor leader.
Mr. President, may I just make a reservation that tomorrow may I have 2 or 3 minutes to just make a manifestation or some thoughts on this issue. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Mr. President, may we be allowed to make a short manifestation po?
Proceed.
Salamat po. Actually po, nag-announce na po kanina ang spokesman ng Korte Suprema that the Supreme Court will not waive confidentiality, and they're advising their administrative personnel not to appear before this court. Nakakalungkot na nakakatakot na ang ating Korte Suprema po ay may ganong desisyon. Para sa amin po na pagkaitan ang prosekusyon ng oportunidad na makakuha ng ebidensyang public records po. These are administrative officers po. Ito'y mga security guard o process server at ang mga dokumento po ay public records. Wala po siyang confidentiality doon. Ano po ba ang tinatago ng Korte Suprema sa hukumang ito? Ito po ang isang malaking bagay na sa amin po ay malaking gulat pero nakakalungkot din. Ngayon po, ang akin na lang sasabihin po dito. So far po, nagpresenta na kami ng ebidensya patunay doon sa alegasyon namin na nag-allege kami na may kaso si Ginang Arroyo, kailangan niyang tumakas sa bansa. Nagpresenta kami ng ebidensya na walang life and death urgency na para bigyan siya ng TRO kaagad-agad. Nagpresenta po kami ng ebidensya na may distortion doon sa sinabing kondisyon na sinabi ni Attorney Maidas Marquez at yung lumabas doon sa aktual na TRO po. Ang sunod po namin sanang prubahan na dito at kami naglabas na ng ebidensya sa mga sumusunod ay ang who did it po. Sino po ang gumawa niyan? Ngayon po, may pruweba na kami batay sa internal rules ng Korte Suprema para ipresenta na ang Chief Justice lang ang may poder na gumawa po niyan. Kaya lang po, kailangan pa rin namin ng dagdag na ebidensya para sabihin, para mapatunayan na Chief Justice lang ang pwedeng mag-utos na i-extend mo yung office hours. Para Chief Justice lang ang pwedeng mag-utos, security guard, ikaw ang mag-serve ng subpoena. Your Honors, please. At ito ay pinagkait sa amin ng Korte Suprema sa ngayong araw. At nakakalungkot na ang judiciary mismo natin ang walang recognition doon sa rights, sa due process rights ng complainants, Your Honor, to access to justice and to access to evidence. In that case, Your Honor, probably this is my last manifestation before this honorable court. May I ask the lead prosecutor po, Neil Tupas, to address the honorable court po.
We will take note of your manifestation, but the Supreme Court, as a co-equal, coordinate, separate and independent and coordinate branch of government, has, as the Congress and the executive have, its own internal rules. So, I cannot see any way by which we can break this system. This is the system that is authorized under our form of government. And the only way by which we can break this, if you want to control the Supreme Court, or you want to be more superior than the Supreme Court, or you want one department to be more superior over the other departments of the government, would be to amend the Constitution. And that is a function, not your function, nor my function, or the function of the President of the Philippines or the Supreme Court, but the function of the sovereign people of this country. They're above us. Okay? So order.
Mr. President, may you recognize Senator Jingo Estrada?
The gentleman from San Juan.
Thank you. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo. Isang katanungan lang po siguro kay Congressman Colmenares. Sa Article 7, meron na ho kayong 7 witnesses na piresenta rito sa hukuman ito. At dun sa letter of compliance ninyo, under Article 7, nakalistar ho rito ay 24 witnesses po ang inyong ipirepresenta. Ano ho nangyari dun sa ibang witnesses?
Well, actually po, if I may mga ibang secondary witnesses po kami. For example po, yung IT video CCTV ng DOJ na nagpapakitang siniserve ng gabi na, late na, ang TRO ni Ginang Arroyo. Meron kaming security guard na mag-a-attest na siniserve ito sa gabi. Pero po, yung siyempre, kung ang process server po nandito, siya talaga po ang magsabing siniserve namin yan, alas 6 o alas 7 ng gabi. Ngayon, mga secondary witnesses sila na pwedeng ipresenta. May iba pa pong mga posibleng secondary witnesses. Pero dito na po kami sa yugto na tingin naman po namin, na-establish na namin yung may motibong tumakas, na-establish na namin na may TRO na pinasa, na-establish na namin na walang life and death urgency para ibigay yung TRO na without a hearing, wala man lang oportunidad ang gobyerno na sumagot, na-establish na rin namin, tingin namin na may distortion. Ang kailangan na lang po namin i-prove sino ang gumawa niyan. Was it the Chief Justice who did it? At tingin namin, in this stage, ang witness po namin manggagaling na talaga dyan kung hindi man isang justice, isang administrative officer na magsasabing sino nag-utos sa iyo na i-draft yung resolution na yan, anong oras mo din draft, bakit ina-announce na ni Attorney Maidas Marquez alas 2 ng hapon, di pa pala tinatype, sino nag-utos na driver ang mag-serve, yun po, lahat po yun, galing na po sa Korte Suprema yon. At kung ito po ang desisyon ng Korte Suprema kanina na hindi na sila talaga mag-waive ng kanilang kiniklaim na confidentiality, yung mga primary witnesses na po yan ay sa aga ng akin, malaki ang posibilidad na wala na po sila, na hindi na po sila mapresenta po dito.
So, is my understanding correct that these 7 witnesses that you have just presented under Article 7, that will be the last?
Well, actually,
wala na ho kayo iprepresenta?
Well, I think the lead prosecutor will discuss that po. Pero
ilan yung dating witness na nakalista para sa Article?
24 po, Mr. President.
24. So,
well, that includes, Mr. President, the justices of the Supreme Court, Mr. President.
If I may lang, Your Honor, please. Ang gusto, kasi pahabain na namin yung gusto talaga namin the smallest number of witnesses. Ayon na rin po sa opinion ng lahat. I think even the judges of this Honorable Impeachment Court. So for us to present 2 or 3 witnesses just to prove that the process server went to the DOJ at 6 p.m., ang server po ang process server mismo ng Korte Suprema po ang pinakamabilis. So hanggat maari po sana, we would like to get primary evidence po rather than secondary po.
Mr. Prosecutor, kung nagpunta sila sa DOJ, bakit hindi ninyo alip na manggagaling yung ebidensya ninyo sa Korte Suprema, bakit hindi nyo gamitin yung testimony ng mga tao na nakakita doon sa Department of Justice?
Tama po. In fact, humingi kami ng subpina.
Gagawin yun?
May subpina po kami sa OIT.
Hindi na subpina. Bakit subpina? Tao ng...
actually po,
hindi ba ninyo kontrolado yung ng partido ninyo? Itong...
Hindi po ako. Bayan muna party list po ako.
Pero coalition kayo eh. Coalition, di ba kayo kasama sa coalition na nag-impeach nitong nakasakdal na magistrado?
Prosecutor lang po ako dito. Pero nakaschedule po sila under our sinasabi ko lang po ang
Why
aking...
don't you just bring them here voluntarily? In the same way that you brought the ABS-CBN.
They're willing naman po. They're willing naman po.
Precisely. So, you are making it appear na kawawa kayo.
Hindi po.
You have all the means.
Yes po.
You have all the power.
May I have a 1-minute recess lang po? I'll consult with the lead prosecutor.
All right. 1 minute recess.
Ayan, naglabas ho ng sama ng loob itong si Prosecutor Nery Colmenares at nanghihinayang na nga raw siya na hindi na pinayagan ng tuloy-tuluyan itong Korte Suprema na humarap itong tinatawag na process server. Ito ba yung magsaserve ng decision doon sa DOJ? So, do you see something irregular here or is that a valid decision na hindi talaga pinayagan, hindi lang yung mga Supreme Court Justice, kundi pati na rin yung mga personnel, clerk?
Okay, dalawang issue yung iyong tanong, no? Una, yung panghihinayang ni Representative Colmenares na sinabi mo nga. At pangalawa, kung tamang desisyon. Well, one, I cannot say whether it's tama o hindi. Meron na yung desisyon. And it has something to do with judicial privilege. Meron lang ako isang comment tungkol doon. Usually, ang kino-cover ng judicial privilege ay yung tinatawag nating deliberative facts. Yung kung ano nangyari sa loob ng korte that led to a decision. Kasi maraming mga ano yan eh, maraming mga diskusyon, mga arguments, mga
sila-sila
pros
lang
and cons.
nakakaalam.
Sila-sila yun.
Yun mo nire-record din yun?
Pero para sa kanila, parang
Okay.
executive session nga ng mga senador o ng representatives, no? Ang importante yung dulo. Kasi para ma-encourage naman sila to come out with their own opinions without fear. Pero iba yung gustong ipalabas ni Representative Colmenares sana. Hindi deliberative fact yun eh. Sana pumayag na lang ang Supreme Court doon.
Okay, balikan natin ang impeachment proceedings.
Opo.
Kasi paikli na ho natin ang inyong sagot kasi masyado mahaba.
Opo, may mga 5 pa
Doon
po.
ba ho sa 7 witnesses na presente ninyo sa ilalim ng Artikulo 7, yun na ba ang pinakahuli ninyo?
Your
Wala
Honor,
na ho kayo
please,
prepresenta.
with your indulgence, the lead prosecutor wants to speak po.
Magandang hapon po, Ginoong Pangulo.
Magandang hapon.
Doon sa tanong na ating kagalang-galang.
Maayong hapon.
Maayong hapon, Mr. Senate President. Doon sa tanong ng ating kagalang-galang na senador, kung ilang witnesses pang sa Article 7, ito na po yung huling witness sa Article 7 na subject to cross by the defense.
Kasi nagtataka lang ako dahil marami kayo sinulat. Halos lahat yung mga witnesses nyo sa taga-ABS-CBN. Isa lang, taga-ABS-CBN lang ba kumuha ng mga video? Kasi meron kayo nakalista rito, Miss Lia Manyalak, taga GMA 7. Marlon Ramos, taga Inquirer. Mark Meruenas, taga GMA News. Hindi nyo sila representa.
Hindi na po, corroborative na lang po yung sa kanila. At we decided that yung witness, Mr. Sino yun? Lasala? Mr. Lasala, sila na, yun na yung last witness for the prosecution doon sa Article 7.
Okay, huling katanungan lang po, Ginoong Congressman. Pagkatapos nitong Article 7, itutuloy nyo pa ba sa ibang artikulo? O tapos na tayo lahat? We will wait for the defense to present their evidence. Are we done?
Gusto ko po mag-manifest mamaya-maya doon eh.
Inuunahan lang kita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
The gentleman from Pampanga.
Yes, Mr. President, thank you. Mr. President, with the earlier manifestation of Congressman Colmenares regarding the developments in the Supreme Court, as well as the confirmation of our clerk of court and our secretary, it is in effect, Mr. President, the Supreme Court has made it known to us that they will refuse to honor or refuse to comply with the subpoena of this court, Mr. President.
That's correct.
And I think, Mr. President, this is a serious development. If we take it in the context of, first, we debated and discussed the issue of the TRO on the dollar accounts, saying then, I mean, a number of us felt that the Supreme Court had no jurisdiction, and we continue to assert that by way of having filed our answer or our position before the Supreme Court. So after the TRO of our subpoena, Mr. President, on the dollar accounts, we now have this, the refusal of the Supreme Court to honor or comply with the subpoena. My concern, Mr. President, is that what happens next as we go through this trial? What other orders or rulings will the Supreme Court undertake, thereby whittling away, Mr. President, the powers of this impeachment court? I don't have the answers today, Mr. President. I'm not asking for a position to be taken by the impeachment court today, Mr. President. But I think just as we deliberated and voted on the issue of whether or not to honor the TRO, I think we should deliberate and perhaps vote on the issue of whether or not we will accept the Supreme Court's refusal to comply with or honor our subpoena, Mr. President. This is.
Yeah, go ahead.
And perhaps during a caucus we can discuss this maybe on Monday or some other time, Mr. President. But I fear, Mr. President, that unless we assert the primacy and supremacy of the impeachment court in impeachment proceedings, Mr. President, we might find ourselves in a joint venture or joint undertaking with the Supreme Court in terms of impeachment proceedings, and therefore the sole power, Mr. President, to try and decide impeachment cases becomes fiction, Mr. President. This is my fear.
All right.
For the record, Mr. President.
Well, the chair would like to clarify, because all these things might create a wrong impression to the public mind. And to be fair to this court, to be fair to our people, and to be fair to everybody, this chair would like to humbly state for the record that the Supreme Court has no jurisdiction over the trial and decision that this Senate will make in this case. That is not indicated by the action of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the guardian of the Constitution. They know that the sovereign people of this country repose to this Senate the sole power to try and decide this case. The Supreme Court cannot decide it. What happened was that we issued a subpoena, and the internal rules of the Supreme Court, which is a co-equal, separate, independent, and coordinate department with us, says we have our own internal rules on this matter, and we do not allow our justices, judges, and employees to be subpoenaed by the impeachment court. That is another matter. It does not deprive us of jurisdiction to try and decide this case. In the same manner that, if you remember, when we had the problem when the Senate had a problem with Malacanang in connection with some investigation being conducted by this Senate in one of its committees, the palace invoked its executive privilege by preventing the members of the palace staff, including the members of the bureaucracy and the military, from testifying in that particular investigation. And it was the Supreme Court who said, yes, the executive has an executive privilege, but only up to a certain respect and in the manner they defined as to how it could be invoked. And we continued with the hearing, exercising our own jurisdiction over the matter which was the subject matter of the committee hearing at the time. That is the same situation here, isn't it? No, they're not impeding us from continuing with the trial and decision on this case. We can decide this case even without those witnesses coming from the Supreme Court, based on the evidence we have at hand. The gentleman from Iloilo.
Mr. President, considering the very sensitive nature of this issue, may I move that we discuss this in our next caucus rather than in open court, if that is in order?
Well, It was started by a member of the
We know,
court.
Mr. President.
Yeah.
We do.
What is the pleasure of the House?
We can take it up, Mr. President, on Monday at 12 noon.
All right. We will, the members of the court will not discuss this any further. We will hold it under advisement and we will discuss it in the caucus on Monday.
There is still one more question from a member of the court, Mr. President, Senator Lauren Legarda.
The gentle lady from Antique, Malabon, Manila, and the Republic of the Philippines. Senator Legarda.
Panay and Laguna, Mr.
Panay, Laguna,
and the Philippines.
and the Philippines.
Thank you, Mr. President. Napakaikling point of clarification lang po sa prosecution. Perhaps more particular to the person in the transcript, is there a Mr. Pareño who said it yesterday?
Yes,
Yes.
private prosecutor.
Maski sino po, pero dahil ito po ay sa statements ni Mr. Pareño, tungkol lang po sa 2 araw na natin pinapanood na mga video na pinapanood niyo po sa amin. Gusto ko lang po malaman, Mr. Pareño, anong oras ba ang business hours ng Korte Suprema?
Your Honor, sa akin pong pagkaalam hanggang 4:30 p.m. po sila.
Can you verify? Understand it is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Official office hours is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Usually, Your Honor, when we're trying to file at 4:30, it is closed.
Yes.
But we will verify that, Your Honor.
Yes. We want to establish the office hours, and I wish you would answer me with not usually, because we want to establish a fact, not what is usual practice.
Yes, Your Honor. We will submit a manifestation to that effect.
No, I don't
compliance.
need to. You don't have to labor with a manifestation. Just give me the answer now. You can just call, and you should have had that information because you
yes.
discussed that for 2 days.
Yes, Your Honor. You're correct, Your Honor. It's 8 to 5 officially.
That's why do not rely on usual. You should rely on what is a factual basis. Because my questions are so simple, I just want to understand, dahil 2 araw nyo pinapanood sa amin yung video. Because yesterday, you established, based on the transcript, the rationale for showing us the video. Isa po sa inyong sinabi, ang kadahilanan ng videong yan, in your own words, para patunayan, tinatagalog ko na lang, na yung respondent ay ginamit ang kanyang puwersa para i-extend ang panahon ng office hours sa Korte Suprema para makapagbayad ng cash bond para mag-grant yung TRO. That is on page 27 of the transcript. Tinagalog ko yung English na transcript. Kung 8 to 5 po ang opisina ng Korte Suprema, sinabi naman nyo sa page 33 ng transcript sa pagtatanong ng presiding officer na yung pagbibigay ng bayad ay nangyari ng 4:15 base sa third video. Ako po'y nalilito dahil ano po ang kasaysayan ng inyong pagpakita ng video kung ito naman po ay sakop ng panahon na may business hours. Dahil ang gusto ko pong sanang napatunayan nyo at nakumbinsi kami na talagang in-stretch ang panahon na ginamit ang puwersa ng respondent para nga mabigay itong cash bond na ito outside of the regular office hours. Because you have 2 contradictory statements unless I do not understand the transcript. Can you just clarify, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, at around 4 p.m. or 4:15, which was shown by the video 3 that we presented, the messenger or an attorney Topacio were attempting to pay.
Please, just answer my question. Kayo po ang nagsabi, it happened at around 4:15, according to the watch. That is your answer to the presiding officer yesterday.
Yes, Your Honor.
4:15.
Opo.
And I asked you, the office hours of the Supreme Court is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So may I know what you meant by office hours were stretched?
Your Honor, actually what happened at 4:15 based on our investigation was that the messenger attempted to pay, but afterwards the cashier asked them for a copy of the resolution. So based actually on the records that we received, the payment was, the certification of payment was given on the next day, November 16. So as of 6:03, as of posting time at 6:03, Your Honor, Attorney Topacio has yet to secure a copy of the resolution. So the payment was not actually made at around 4:15, but afterwards. And also, Your Honor, to prove the extension of hours, there are other incidents as well, not only the payment of the bond, but actually also, Your Honor, the submission of the affidavits, or I mean the special power of attorneys.
Let's clarify. The presiding officer asked, the third video was at 4 o'clock. You said, yes, Your Honor. It happened around 4:15. My simple question is, what was the third video all about?
Ma'am, it was an attempt to pay.
Was it not the close-up of the bag containing the money which represents the cash bond?
Yes, you're right, ma'am.
Yes, and that happened at 4:15.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
That was an attempt to pay at 4:15.
Was there any payment made?
The payment was made subsequent to that.
Which was what time?
Based on our, it happened at around, Your Honor, based on our recollection, it happened around 6:03.
But you did not say that yesterday.
6:03 of what day?
November 15 also, Your Honor.
November 15.
What part of the transcript did you say that yesterday? Because he said yesterday 4:15.
When we manifested that, ma'am, Your Honor, we were referring to the attempt to pay.
But you did not say attempt to pay yesterday. You're just saying it today. That's why I am confused. Because I read the transcripts of the days past, and I compare it to your allegations on page 27 to what you actually said transpired, which is on page 33. And I know that office hours is 8 to 5. Kaya gusto ko pong maintindihan kung bakit nyo sinasabi na pina-extend ang office hours para po mabayaran yung cash bond kung naganap po ng 4:15. Yun lang po ang aking gustong maintindihan.
Yes, Your Honor, but actually that was an attempt to pay. The actual payment was made
Then you
at
should have
6:03.
said that there was an attempt to pay, because I am reading the transcript now, and unless I cannot read or don't know how to spell, I cannot see the word attempt.
To be honest, Your Honor, we also had a discussion yesterday, and I said, I mentioned the word, I'm referring to the other prosecutor, as I told them, I mentioned the word attempt.
I cannot see it now. Then, just like in the Senate Journal, we review it, then you should have asked the stenographers to correct it.
In any case, Your Honor, if there
Because
is
it confuses the senator judges. Dahil po, maliwanag sa inyong mga aligasyon, among many things, yung non-compliance sa cash bond, tatlong compliance sa TRO ay yung pagbabayad ng cash bond. At yung aligasyon nyo na ginamit ng Supreme Court Chief Justice, yung respondent, ang kanyang puwersa para ma-extend ang office hours. That's why upon perusing this transcript, I see that there is no extension. That is a reason why I'm clarifying with you, baka naman nagkamali ang stenographer, nagkamali kayo sa oras, o nagkamali ang inyong aligasyon.
Your Honor, the time of the video 3 time is correct. That's around 4:15. If I made the impression that I did not mention the word attempt, Your Honor, let me correct that now. The 4:15 was attempted.
I don't know how many corrections you'll have to make, because these are records of the Senate. On another page. 17, how can it be on page 17? In another page.
I'm sorry, 37. I'm sorry.
Anyway, my point is, Mr. President, is I simply wanted to understand and be convinced that indeed there was a Herculean effort to make sure that powers were utilized to extend office hours to accommodate the cash bond which was being posted by the former president. I think I've made my point clear, and that is all, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you. Prosecutors?
Thank you.
The lead prosecutor of the lead prosecutor, Mr. President, wants the floor before
Gentleman from Iloilo.
Yes, just a short manifestation, important manifestation for the prosecution, Your Honor. Maybe you be given 2 minutes.
Proceed.
Thank you.
You can spend
Thank
more
you,
than
thank you,
2
sir.
minutes.
On January 30, 2012, on day 8 of the impeachment trial, we manifested that the House panel will present its case within a reasonable time, as we believe that this is the best for the nation. We do not wish to prolong the proceedings and impose upon the time of this honorable tribunal, the respondent, and that of the public that we serve. Today, Your Honors, on day 25 of the impeachment trial, the House prosecution has thus far presented 17 witnesses for Article 2, 1 witness for Article 3, and 7 witnesses for Article 7, or a total of 25 witnesses, and has marked, thus far, 166 documents for Article 2.
17 witnesses for Article 2?
Alone, yes, Your Honor.
All right.
And has marked 166 documents for Article 2 alone, 16 for Article 3, and 65 for Article 7, or a total of 397 documents marked thus far for Articles 2, 3, and 7. Your Honor, Mr. President, it is our humble submission that we have already presented a strong case, and the evidence that we have laid down suffices for the removal from office of Chief Justice Renato Corona for betrayal of public trust, with the presentation of Articles 3, 7, and especially Article 2.
How about culpable violation of the Constitution?
We are proving betrayal of public trust, Your Honor, in this respect.
You are no longer using the ground of culpable violation of the Constitution?
It is betrayal of public trust.
Huh?
Betrayal of public trust.
The court would like a categorical answer.
With respect to Article 2,
if you want to make a categorical
with respect to Article 2, it is both betrayal of public trust and culpable violation of the Constitution.
Article 2.
With respect to Article 2. With respect to the other articles of impeachment that we have thus far presented evidence, namely Article 3 and Article 7, betrayal of public trust. May I proceed, sir?
Yes.
It is for this reason that after the presentation of Article 2, the non-disclosure of SALN, Article 3, the competence, integrity, probity, and independence of a member of the Supreme Court, and Article 7, TRO in favor of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, the prosecution will no longer present evidence. Or rather, the prosecution is terminating the presentation of its evidence, of course subject to the cross tomorrow by the defense. We will no longer present evidence with respect to the other articles of impeachment, namely Article 1, this is the midnight appointment and the voting pattern. We no longer present evidence. Article 8.
Article 4.
Article 8 first, Your Honor.
All right.
Article 8, because this is the sequence which we filed the manifestation. After Article 1, no longer present. Article 8, this is with respect to the Judiciary Development Fund, JDF, and the special allowances for the judiciary or SAJ. We will no longer present. Article 4, regarding the issuance of the status quo ante order enjoining the proceedings of the House of Representatives during the Mercedes Gutierrez impeachment, no longer present evidence. Article 5 is the flip-flopping of 16 cities, the FASAP, and the Dinagat Island cases. we will no longer present. And Article 6. Article 6 is with respect to the creation by the Supreme Court of this ethics committee, which absolved one of the justices of the Supreme Court, namely Justice Del Castillo. We will no longer present evidence. Mr. President, the prosecution, in terminating the presentation of its evidence, reserves its right to present evidence on the dollar accounts of the respondent, Chief Justice Renato Corona, for Article 2. As we know, there's a case. In fact, today, a comment ad cautelam ex superabundante was filed this noontime by the Senate as well as the House panel of prosecution with respect to the temporary restraining order issued on February 9, 2012 by the Supreme Court. And just to point out that in that just a one paragraph statement on that comment ad cautelam ex superabundante filed today, the House prosecution and the Senate are of the position that the Senate Impeachment Tribunal issued a subpoena dated February 6, 2012, pursuant to its constitutional power to try and decide all cases of impeachment, which includes the manner and form, sole power to try and decide all impeachment cases, which includes the manner and form of issuance of such writs, such as the subpoena. We just want to make that of record, Your Honor, because tomorrow we'll only have the cross to finish the presentation of the evidence of the prosecution. And we also reserve a right tomorrow after the cross.
I would like to if you're through,
not yet,
tell me when you're through. And
yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
want to pose it some question.
Yes, sir. After the presentation tomorrow of the cross, after the cross by the defense, you would like to reserve a right to request for a period of time, to give us time within which to submit our formal offer of documentary evidence.
Yes.
That is all, Your Honor, and thank you so much.
I want to clarify. Are you telling this court that you are now saying you will stand or fall on Article 2, Article 3, and Article 7?
That is correct, Mr. President.
You will not present any evidence on the other articles of your articles of impeachment.
That is correct, Mr. President.
Are you withdrawing formally these articles 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8?
Those articles...
Are you going to formally withdraw these articles?
We are dropping the articles, Your Honor.
Then write the corresponding motion to drop articles 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8. The court would like the prosecution to formally file a motion that will be approved by this court formally to drop and withdraw without any further reception of evidence on Articles 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8.
Mr. President.
The gentleman from Makati and Bicol.
Yes. Mr. President, I think that that's the privilege of the prosecution. If they prefer not to proceed anymore with the 5
other articles. So I would suggest that they just file a notice, formal notice, and not a motion, because I think it would be unfair for them that we will still pass judgment on what they would want to prove. Just a notice, and that's it.
Yes, well,
We can do that, sir.
You file, so that you see, if you do not make a formal notice or motion, then my next question to you: are you submitting these cases for decision on the basis of the pleadings that were filed? Because there are pleadings already that were filed. There was your articles of impeachment. There was an answer. You made a reply. These are there are controverted facts. There are defenses that were raised by the defense, which will bind you if you are not going to traverse them. So I want a formal statement of your clear position on this matter.
Yes, sir, we will do that. We'll file a formal notice that we will not anymore presenting evidence with respect to Articles 1, 8, 4, 5, and 6.
And not only that you're not presenting, but that you are withdrawing.
And we are withdrawing, yes.
And in effect, canceling these articles of these individual articles of impeachment in your articles of impeachment against the respondent.
We will do that, Your Honor.
Very clear, huh? Very clear. And that you will stand or fall on your case against the respondent on the basis of Article 2, 3, and 7.
Correct, Your Honor.
Of your articles of impeachment.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the pleasure of the defense?
Well, I was about to make a short manifestation, Your
Proceed.
Honor, in connection with the alleged offer of non-presenting evidence insofar as the specific articles of impeachment are concerned. But I'll be more correctly satisfied, Your Honor, if there is a withdrawal or a notice to that effect filed before this court so that the court may act on it very, very formally, Your Honor.
Yes.
Mr. President, the reaction from Senator Arroyo, I think we will misinterpreted.
Mr. President, I don't think the action of the prosecution to file a notice is subject to an opposition of the.
I'm not opposing.
An action or even our approval. And that is the right.
No action necessary.
I think a court action will be necessary, Your Honor.
No, I mean...
Because the pleadings have gone so far already. There were evidences presented this way and that way, and I do not think that either party may do what they want without an approval from this court, Your Honor.
Anyway...
Mr. President.
Yes.
The prosecution is not interested anymore on 5 articles. So, if they file a notice informing the Senate that they will not anymore prosecute the 5 articles, so be it. And that's it.
Yes.
And then it's not subject to the approval of the Senate because they're the ones who have filed the articles. It's their privilege to withdraw it if they want to. So if they file a notice, that's it.
Yeah. We want to be sure that we have a formal evidence of the position of the prosecution that they are in effect withdrawing as articles of impeachment, Article 1, Article 4,
6.
Article 5, Article 6, and Article 8. That is as far as the articles of impeachment is concerned. Now, but you cannot deprive the defense about the effect of their answers. They can use their answers to these articles, if their material, for the defense of their client.
Your Honor.
Okay.
We will do that, yes.
Is that understood by the prosecution?
Yes, it's loud and clear, Your Honor. And the prosecution wishes to thank the kind statement of Senator Joker Arroyo.
All right. What's the pleasure of the defense?
Mr. President.
We submit, Your Honor.
All right.
We have delivered
So
our
ordered.
case and submit, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The Majority Floor Leader.
Yes, yesterday, the Counsel for Chief Justice Corona filed a motion to suppress illegally obtained evidence, seeking to expunge from the record all evidence thus far offered, received, and proposed in relation to the subpoenas addressed to PS Bank Branch Manager Ms. Annabel Tiongson. To allow our colleagues to go over the pleading that was filed, I move that we take up the matter in caucus also on Monday, March 5, 2012.
Is there any objection?
Your Honor,
Yes.
with respect to that motion filed by the defense, we filed a manifestation today. The prosecution filed a manifestation that we will file an opposition on or before March 5,
Then
Monday.
granted.
Thank you.
We will
Okay.
take it up. Thank you, Mr.
We will
President.
take it up in our caucus on Monday.
Thank you. Mr. President, may we ask the Sergeant at Arms to make an announcement?
Sergeant at Arms, may now make an announcement.
Please all rise. All persons are commanded to remain in their places until the Senate President and the Senators have left the session hall.
Mr. President, I move to adjourn until 2 o'clock in the afternoon of Wednesday, February 29, 2012.
Is there any objection? There being none, the trial is hereby adjourned until 2 o'clock in the afternoon of Wednesday, February 29, 2012. So ordered.
Ayan, nabigla tayo lahat. Biglang tinerminate na ng prosekusyon itong paglalabas ng mga ebidensya para sa iba pang mga article of impeachment. Nabigla rin ho ba kayo? Inaasahan namin mag-article 1.
Mahalagang development po ito sa trial, Professor, ano?
Hindi ako nabigla. Hindi ako nabigla. There were already statements earlier made by the prosecution. Para sa kanila, tama na yung Article 2. They can, from their point of view, pwede na makakuha ng conviction based on Article 2. And nakita naman natin how parang na-abbreviate, no? Na-shortcut yung kanilang Article 3 kasi nagkaroon sila ng maraming obstacle. Kaya tumalo ng Article 7 at ang daming obstacles. Parang, sige na, I think we have enough evidence ang sinasabi. Tama na.
Pero hindi pa rin nila dinadrop itong tungkol sa dollar account. Parang hindi pa tapos ang laban, sabi nila tungkol dito sa dollar account. What do they mean by this? Pwede pa bang buhayin itong usapin tungkol sa dollar account? Bagamat hindi na nga pwedeng gamitin na ito, di ba? Pinagbawalan na.
Hindi pa. TRO lang. Remember? TRO.
Temporary.
Correct.
Okay.
Which means, pwede pang desisyon na ng Korte Suprema. I don't know, for some reason, pwede nilang bawiin at sinabing, sige, tignan ninyo. Hindi natin alam. The point is, may pending pa. In the event na desisyon na ng Korte Suprema yon at
ano naman
payagan,
ang likelihood na papayagan?
hindi ko na alam yan.
So, linawin lang natin, Professor, para sa mga manonood. Kailangan lang makakuha ng prosecution ng conviction sa isa lang.
Hindi naman kailangan. Pwede na
na
magkaroon ng conviction kahit isa lang ang kanilang napatunayan.
So, kumbaga, nilalatag ho nila yung barahan nila, dun sa tatlo lang. 2, Article 2, 3, and Article 7. Doon lang.
Ang sinasabi nila, malakas daw po yung kanilang Article 2.
Sa palagay nila, yun ang pinakamalakas nila. In your opinion, do you think that's stronger compared to the...
Ito yung mga numbers Ito yung mga pera. Alam naman natin kung ano yung impact nun. Wow, ganun pala kalaki ang pera ni Chief Justice. Wow. You know, namangha ang mga manunood sa mga numerong lumabas. In fact, siguro nagulat din yung prosecution, ganun pala kalaki. Although they were expecting more. And nakikita natin na ina-expect nila na mas malaki pa ang makikita nila kung pinalabas yung foreign currency accounts. Yun.
Ano ho yung susunod dito, Professor? Where do we proceed from here?
Alright. Meron pang isa, yung cross-examination na gagawin ni former Justice Cuevas.
Humingi pa siya ng oras para ma-cross-examine.
Para mabasa niya yung mga TSNs kasi wala daw siya kanina, na-traffic nga siya. Ngayon, magdidesisyon ang prosecution kung gusto pa nilang mag-redirect after the cross. Pero yun na yung huli. And then humihingi sila ng panahon, yung tinatawag na formal offer of documentary evidence.
Actually, ano ba yun? Ano ba yung
formal?
May ibig sabihin na.
Opo. Kung maalala natin, bago nagpresenta ng mga testigo, may mga sinasabing would like to offer the testimony of this witness for the following purposes. Yun na yung offer nila ng testimonya o ng ebidensya ng testigo. Pero tatlong klase mga ebidensya Testimonial, galing sa testigo. documentary na hindi naman lumalakad mag-isa, dumadaan through through the witnesses, no? Yun ngayon ang i-offer nila. Tandaan natin, ang ginawa lang sa mga dokumento, minarkahan. Mark lang. Pwedeng mangyari na ito nga yung mga minarkahan, pero ito lang i-offer nila. Pwede rin mangyari yan. In much the same way na 8 articles, pero ito lang ang kanilang na-desisyonan na nabibigyan nila ng mga pruweba. At isa pang klaseng ebidensya, yung object evidence. Okay, yung mga video kanina, object evidence yun. So, isasama nila sa formal offer yung mga ebidensya na lumabas through the testimony of the witness na hindi testimonial. Meaning documentary at saka object. Doon sa formal offer na yun, ilalagay kung ano yung purpose.
Doon ay pagtatahi-tahi
yung isa-isa. Kunwari A, itong dokumento na to, offered for the purpose of ganyan. After the formal offer of evidence, magdidesisyon ngayon ang impeachment court kung alin dito ang admissible or inadmissible. Kaya nga nakita natin may mga objection, ba't na natin pinag-uusapan ng admissibility ng mga dokumento, yung hearsay, or etc. Well, pag testimonya, kailangan pwedeng ma-objectan yun right there and then. Pero pagdating sa mga object evidence, tsaka documentary evidence, hintayin natin na ma-formally offer. Kasi baka naman hindi ituloy ng prosecution, again, i-formally offer yung mga pinamarkahan nila. After that, depensa na.
Nabigla nga ako kasi ang alam ko, after this, mag-move on naman sila sa Article 1, which has to do with the voting pattern daw of CJ Corona in favor, allegedly, of Gloria Arroyo. Pero siguro, my thinking is that since hindi na nga pinayagan, naglabas nga ng desisyon ngayon ang Korte Suprema na nagsasabi, bawal nga mag-testify itong mga personnel ng Supreme Court, talagang baka tuloy-tuluyan ang nilang binasura itong Article 1. Kasi how are they gonna prove the voting pattern and the partiality if they cannot summon the clerk and
sa totoo lang,
other people who give relevant testimony.
Sa totoo lang, yung pattern na sinasabi nila, in fact, sa kanilang verified complaint, di ba, meron silang table na prinisenta, ito yung mga kaso, ganito yung pagboto ni CJ Corona. So parang pinapakita nila, tignan mo, ito mga kasong to na tungkol sa mga gawain, yung mga desisyon ng gobyerno ngayon, itong kanyang, ayan may pattern na na kinakampihan niya. Parang ganon. Except that, well, one, these are already public records. How are you now going to introduce them into the records of the case? Yun ang dahilan kung bakit may question kanina. Ano bang ipa-file bukas tungkol sa tinatawag na dropping ni Representative Tupas? Notice ba or motion?
Formal motion.
Ang notice, sinasabihan lang namin kayo. Hindi na namin sinasama yan. Yun lang yun.
Written din ho yun.
Pinagsasabihan lang. Formally Ang motion, humihingi ng permiso. Move nga We move. Yun ang ibig sabihin. From the word move ang motion. Which means na kailangan desisyonan. Bakit ngayon naging issue yun? Nagbibigay ng hint kanina si Senate President na may mga nabanggit na na sa totoo lang, pwedeng gawing judicial notice na tinatawag. Magdedesisyon ba kami ayon sa mga nakasulat doon na hindi naman kailangan magpresenta ng ebidensya dahil judicial records na yan. Yung pattern na yon, yung mga desisyon na yon. Pwede na yun Kaya lang it's how to introduce that into the records para maging part of what will be considered. Okay? So, siguro naman makikita ng prosecution, isasama nila yan bukas. And then second, may mga kontra-alegasyon ang ginawa ng depensa dun sa kanilang answer that will bind the parties. Paano yun? May kontra-alegasyon? Sasagutin ba ng prosecution yun? Yun. But some of these allegations na nasa answer na, kasama doon sa mga articles na hindi na nila isasama. How will the impeachment court now treat those? Yun yung concerns kaya whether it's notice or motion.
May pending motion pa ho yung depensa, motion to suppress illegally obtained evidence. Ito ho, ang hinaharang nila dito, yung evidence presented to support Article 2, tama ho?
Opo, yung kay Bank Manager Johnson.
Paano ho ito, paano mangyayari pag halimbawa sinabi ng Senate Impeachment Court na, dapat nga isuppress yung illegally obtained evidence na. Kasi may usapan dati, mahabang usapan tungkol dun sa kung paano na-acquire yung ebidensya, di ba? Paano ho ba ititreat ito ngayon?
It will be, Ng impeachment court or ng publiko? Yun eh.
Well, ng impeachment court. Kasi
Okay,
sila magdedesisyon.
Well, the impeachment court will have to decide on the basis of evidence. At hindi ko consider na evidence yan, nasa record nga, nakita natin marami nangyari sa nakaraan na ganyan. Your Honor, inadmissible, etc., etc. It's okay, yes, it's inadmissible, but let it stay sa record. Meaning, andyan siya na, pero wag niyong gagamiting basihan ng inyong desisyon. May nag-comment nga dyan minsan, di para palang handaan yan. Ito yung mga handaan, militsong malaki doon. Kaya nakalagay, bawal kainin. Di ba? Para nakikita mo na yung mga dapat mong gustong sanang kainin. Kaya lang hindi pwede. Yun ang magandang analogy yun. Sa tinatawag natin na, sige, nasa record nga, pero hindi siya admissible as evidence, meaning wag nyong i-consider yan sa inyong desisyon. Pero nasa likod na ng isipan, ha?
How do you do that? Especially since most of the senator judges are not naman really real lawyers, no? So, paano mo itatabi yung alam mo na alam mo, makaka-affect sa decision mo tungkol sa mga articles of impeachment when the court tells you, hindi mo pwedeng i-consider as evidence yon.
So, totoo, you don't even have to be a lawyer or a non-lawyer to make that decision. The important thing is, hindi ko dapat i-consider yan. But tao lang tayo. Nasa back of our minds yan. Meron na silang mga kanya-kanya sigurong propensities at saka mga beliefs, no? Naghahanap na lang yan siguro ng suporta or reinforcement. Kaya hindi natin masasabi. Pwede naman non-lawyer din. At kaya niyang i-separate. Or pwede din namang lawyer. Kaya lang, wala eh.
Tsaka sakali nga hong hindi consider sa desisyon, halimbawa ng isang senator judge, yun nga nabanggit nyo, nandyan na yan eh. Parang ang hirap naman yata na hindi mo talaga i-consider yun na. And besides, yun ho nabanggit nyo kanina, dyan naka-base yung kaso ng prosecution ngayon. Binitawan na nila yung iba, kumbaga tinaya nila lahat sa Article 2 dahil yun yung pinakamalakas. Kung hindi ko consider yun, parang bagsak yung kaso.
Hindi naman. Kasi marami pa namang pinakita na alala niyo yung Bellagio. Hindi naman galing kay kay Bank Manager Chongson. Yung kay Bank Manager Chongson lang.
Pero I'll ask your opinion, no? Ano sa palagay niyo ang mas compelling, no? Yung tungkol sa SALN, yung tungkol sa mga inaccuracy ng SALN, o yung tungkol sa TRO in favor of Gloria, allegedly, no?
Okay. Kaya tinanong ni Senate President kanina, ano ba ang pinapatunayan nyo ngayon na tumigil na kayo? Yung culpable violation ba? O yung betrayal of public trust? Kasi yung dalawang yun ang ginamit na basihan o grounds ng prosecution. Yung culpable violation, kailangan may provision ng konstitusyon na kailangan pinakita nila na na-violate. Naalala niyo yung usapan natin ng factum, probandum, tsaka probans. Ngayon ang application ng lahat na yan ngayon. No? Sinasabi ngayon ni Representative Tupas, yun para sa Article 2, violation at saka betrayal of public trust. Doon sa 3 at saka 7, public trust lang. Betrayal of public trust lang. So, kailangan ngayon, ano yung ibig sabihin ng malakas? Malakas as to the betrayal or malakas as to the Constitution. We have to be, medyo magiging technical tayo dito or gusto natin maging strict sa evidence or are we going to be a little liberal? Yun yung appeal ni Neil nga about Representative Neil. Hi, Neil.
Estudyante niyo ata.
Oo dati ko estudyante yan. Pero, sir, anyway, yun yung kanya sinasabi. This is at sabi nga ni, sabihin ko sana, Professor Miriam Defensor, siya naman naging teacher ko, sinabi niya, quasi-political and quasi-judicial. So, huwag tayo masyadong stricto sa ebidensya. Titignan natin ngayon, ano ba, pwede bang, kailangan bang betrayal of public trust at saka culpable violation, equal yan? Hindi rin. Kasi you can invoke all the grounds or just one. It doesn't matter. Basta ma-prove mo yung isa. Klaro, dahil nga sa mga numero sa Article 2, kahit na wala yung kay Bank Manager Chongson. Nasa sa, as I earlier pointed out, that was my opinion noon, hindi mo kailangan ilabas hanggang dulong sentimo na discrepancy. Diba? Between kung ano nasa SALN at saka nasa kung ano yung mga naisiwalat na. The thing is, hindi natin alam kung anong sasabihin ng depensa. Dahil baka meron silang ipakitang dahilan kung bakit wala yun doon. Hindi pa natin alam.
Ayun nga ho, ano ho in-expect natin na magiging presentation ng documents and witnesses ng depensa ngayon?
Ang labanan mag-shift na doon sa defense, no? After the cross-examination.
Yes. Ang nakikita natin for Article 2 ay maglalabas sila ng dahilan kung bakit hindi kailangan ilagay doon. Alright? A statement of assets and liabilities. Ay, hindi yan considered asset namin. Kasi ganyan, ganito. Naalala natin yung ating mga usapan noon, kailan ba nagpapas ang ownership pag deed of sale? Pag yung ba'y nalipat na sa pangalan? O meron lang bang deed of sale? Or acceptance, delivery na tinatawag, etc., etc. Yun ang magiging gist ng kanilang depensa tungkol doon sa condos. Yung sa pera, hindi ko pa alam kung anong gagawin nila. Sabihin nila, well, meron ng hint noon, no? Sinabi nila, independently wealthy naman. Yung pamilya ni Mrs. Corona, tsaka pamilya ni CJ Corona, pero assets pa din. I think they said that dahil may attempt nga noon, yung tinatawag na unlawfully or illegally obtained wealth, which is not, by the way, part of the allegations.
Ano yung magiging pinaka-challenging para sa defense na butasan? Yung Article 2, 3, or 7?
Challenging? Kaya naman nila yan. Everything is a challenge, no? Pero knowing the defense, I think kaya nila yan. I just don't know what it's going to be. No? Pero, yeah, I think they will be able to do it. I don't know what or how. They will do it. Or they will try to do it anyway.
But would you know which is the most challenging for them na i-prove, no?
Yung isa kasi, matter of public opinion or opinion.
Yun yung
betrayal of public trust. Kasi medyo nebulous, no? Or hindi mainit, hindi maligamgam, kumbaga, yung concept ng public trust. Pero yung pagdating sa numero at saka yung violation ng Constitution, klaro yung nakalagay sa Constitution, ano yung violate ni Chief Justice na constitutional provision? Yun lang yun. At yung tungkol nga dito sa mga responsibilidad na yun, quite klaro dahil may mga numero. Siguro nga totoo yung statistics or numbers don't lie. I don't know. But the point is, pagdating sa numero, parang how can you argue with 1 plus 1 equals 3, 2?
So they're resting their case basically on 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8. No turning back. Hindi na pwedeng balikan. Let's say kung may lumabas na daming evidence, hindi nila pwedeng balikan ito at reopen.
Kaya humihingi si Senate President ng something in writing. Hindi na nila pwedeng balikan. And attempt din siguro na baka pwedeng oral na kasi meron silang reservation kanina. Parang sinasara na nila, terminate was the word used. No?
With respect to the dollar accounts?
Hindi, yung presentation ng prosecution, pero sinabi nila with reservation as to daw kung ano mangyayari bukas. So parang open pa, di ba?
Oo, open pa.
Gustong establish na yan
yung halimbawa ho, yung request ho nila kay Justice Sereno to appear before the court, ina-abandon na rin ba nila yon? Pwede pa ba?
Give up na ba sila doon? Kasi sinasara nila no?
Oo, hindi sa give up. Siguro, kasi nga, yung naging issue kahapon is yung direct collision or putting them, etc., etc. And the prosecution felt, well, okay, maybe we don't need that testimony to establish what we wanted to say dun sa ating Article 7.
So ano mangyari sa dissenting opinion niya? Will it still be treated as evidence or hindi na ho pwede?
It was presented as evidence. Whether it will be treated with weight, yung i-consider ba ng mga senador yan, hindi natin alam, no? Hindi pa natin alam kung ano magiging decision or i-formally offer nila. Tandaan natin, hindi kailangan ni-explain ng mga senador ang magiging boto nila at the end of the day.
They don't.
Correct? Kung bakit sila bumoto ng conviction or acquittal. But if they want to explain, sure. But they don't have that obligation.
But can they abstain?
An abstention will be considered as what?
Okay.
Hindi conviction.
You need 2/3.
That's right.
And the 2/3 will be based on what, 16?
It will be 16 now. They need 16 votes for a conviction. Anything less will not be a conviction.
Pero 16 ba talagang susundan or ay, present number ngayon 23?
23.
Well, so, nabanggit no na 16 ang gagawin nilang number.
Regardless of the present composition of senators, 16 pa rin talaga
16
ang susundan.
I think no mga point mga ganyan. aabot din yata ng 16.
All right. And then, another thing, please help me understand, no, yung tungkol sa pagpayag na nga ng Supreme Court na mag-testify sana yung mga clerk of court, no, yung preventing the justices from testifying, that one I can understand. Dahil nga, di ba, confidential yung mga pinag-uusapan dito sa mga closed-door session nila. But yung mga clerk of court na patotohanan lang kung anong oras dineliver yung mga summons, ay yung
process servers.
Yung decision, what's the thinking behind that po?
Yung judicial privilege na tinatawag, yun ang sinabi ng Korte Suprema. Pero generally, ang ibig na sabihin nun, yung mga deliberative facts that led, no, to a certain decision. Yung mga clerks yata walang kinalaman at saka process servers sa mga deliberation.
Pero bakit pati sila kasama ho rito sa ipinagbabawal ng Korte Suprema na humarap dito nga sa Senate Impeachment?
Hindi ko alam kung bakit yun. Hindi ko pa nakita yung yung desisyon at kung ano yung explanation. Binasa lang kanina ni Maidas, kung was it Maidas who read it?
Yes.
And also the clerk of court of the impeachment court read the statement of Attorney Vidal, echoing more or less the same. And it was based nga dun sa tinatawag na judicial privilege. I really don't know bakit pati security guard kasama. I really don't know. Sabi nga ng mga marami, including the prosecution, what's wrong with that? Bakit nyo isasama doon? Nagkakaroon tuloy ng impression.
Na may
Totoo man o
tinatago.
hindi. Correct. Hindi natin alam. Sayang. But remember, the Supreme Court's words were, are advised. Hindi are prohibited.
Are advised. So, if they decide to appear, hindi sila
at their own risk. And they have to ask permission. But are advised.
Pero bakit po si Clerk of Court Enriqueta Vidal pinayagan po humarap?
Yun yung dati. Na wala pa yung wala pa yung February 14 order.
Okay, nako. So, I guess, ang inaasahan na lang ngayon ay kung tatanggapin nga ba ni Justice Sereno itong imbitasyon sa kanya na humarap.
Wala na. Saan siya haharap?
Dito sa Senate
Article
Impeachment.
7.
Hindi na.
So,
wala na.
abandoning that
Article
altogether.
7. No? Kaya nga magsasubmit na lang ng something in writing ang prosecution. Formally.
Siguro nagpahiwatig na ba si Sereno na talagang hindi na siya, wag na siya
Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam.
But Professor, would it have been to the prosecution's interest kung naipresenta nila si Justice Sereno for Article 7?
Magandang impact. Diba? Magandang impact. Yes, but that will also give, as I said, the defense an opportunity to present other justices. So, mas exciting sana.
So itong mga, di ba, hindi pinapayagan yung mga justice na mag-testify dahil yung mga pinag-usapan nila behind closed doors, confidential. Okay?
On matters na ganon, that's right.
But what happens, okay, I'm just stretching this, okay, ano kung, let's say, may isang justice na mag-bribe behind closed doors? They cannot also testify on that?
Sa totoo lang, yung mga tinatawag nating privilege na yan, hindi absolute. It cannot be used to cover up a crime. Your question, bribery, medyo labag sa batas yun.
Ginagawang krimen, hindi pwedeng gamitin yung judicial privilege na yun para pagtakpan yun.
Correct, yung pagpaplano, no? Attempt, o kaya to cover up, or discussion ng, etc. Basta krimen o paglabag sa batas, hindi pwede. Pero ang nakalagay sa ating, sa ating mga jurisprudence, crime. Hindi natin alam kung yung paglabag sa batas in its general sense kasama.
Itong mga partiality, hindi considered crime po yun.
Partiality hindi basis lang for impeachment. Pagkawala sa posisyon.
Okay, sa puntong ito, balikan natin si Joseph Morong sa Senado. Joseph, nagulat ba kayo dyan?
Buti pala, bumalik kami kahapon, no?
Malapit na matapos ang trabaho nyo dyan.
Joseph, akala ko tatapusin nila lahat, hindi pala.
You know, we thought initially, no, yung first few testimonies, sabi namin, medyo light lang yung storya, no? And then when Senator Jinggoy Estrada asks itong si Representative Neil Tupas kung ilan pa yung testimonies, no, mga testigo na ipipresent nila, he said na we will make a manifestation on that. And that's when we knew na parang, okay, maybe something else is going to happen. And nung nangyari na nga kanina, nag-manifest itong si Representative Tupas na sinabi nila they are dropping yung 5 articles out of the 8. And ang aasahan na lamang nila for the conviction or acquittal of Chief Justice Corona is yung tatlo, Article 2, 3, and 7. Kanina na-ambush interview na itong si Senate Presiding Officer Juan Ponce Enrile. He was asked if he was surprised. Ang sabi niya, whether he was surprised or not is immaterial to the case. So, kasama natin sa mga sandaling ito, magkabilang panig, no? Itong si Representative, Bayan Muna Representative Nery Colmenares, at isa siya doon sa mga tag-usig ng Article 7, at si Attorney Karen Jimeno, tagapagsalita ng depensa. No? Unahin muna natin itong si Attorney Colmenares. Sir, what happened today?
Well, matagal na kaming nag-uusap na para hindi humaba, pag ma-deliver na namin yung malalakas na ebidensya at mga kaso, we will try to end it as much as possible. We don't want to waste time ng Senado, ng Kongreso, at ng iba pa. So that's what we believe na we've managed to deliver the evidence we want. Dito sa Article 7, siyempre, yung mga justices o kahit admin personnel na lang hiningi namin, clerk of court na lang makapag-testify sana, tutuloy pa namin. Pero malinaw sa statement ng Supreme Court kanina na hindi na sila talaga mag-cooperate. Kahit simpleng bagay like yung process server. Pati SPA nga ni Attorney Topacio, tingin nila confidential eh. So, dugtong ko lang, SPA, may kopya ang notaryo nun eh. So, anyway, but we think sa Article 7 naman, at the very least, sa ganang amin sa Article 7, we managed to present the evidence to prove our case.
Article 7, you had 7 witnesses?
Yes. 12 na kanina ata. Bilangin natin. Hindi ko na nabilang kanina eh. 4 kanina, kahapon, 2.
Sir, how would you describe yung effect noong SC ruling, particularly yung February 14 resolution?
Yung February 14.
Sa kaso nyo?
Malinaw talaga sa amin na diniprive kami talaga ng mga primary evidence doon sa isang part ng ipinuprove namin.
Okay.
Na hindi namin maintindihan kung anong tinatago ng Korte Suprema. Napakasimple public records eh. Ngayon, pwede nilang sabihin itong mga deliberation, itong mga minutes, pwedeng hindi namin ibigay yan. Kami ilalaban pa namin, pero pwede. Pero what about yung mga SPA, affidavit lang ng process server? Process server, sasabihin niya lang, sinerve ko ang TRO, alas 7 o alas 6. Yung cashier, ano oras mo natanggap yung bayad? Kaya kanina may tanong si Senator Loren kasi ang magpipresent sana noong cashier na alas 6 ng gabi or alas 7 ng gabi binayaran at the next day pa actually na-certify, yun sana ang mga ebidensya na kailangan namin doon.
Sir, kailan na-decide ng prosecution as a panel and as a team na i-drop na yung 5?
Well, kagabi nag-usap-usap na doon. No? Okay. Ano ang gagawin pag ang magdesisyon ang Korte Suprema o yung Impeachment Court na hindi na isubpina ang mga administrative personnel. No? So, pag-usapan na may mga ilang secondary witnesses pa, but their testimony will anchor na on the Supreme Court personnel na eh. So, parang ba't man natin pahabain? We think naman na-establish. Yung sinabi ko kanina na may mga ebidensya naman kami na presenta na at saka yung internal rules na that gives the Chief Justice a lot of power to extend office hours, lahat yan.
Was that, sir, a unanimous decision of the panel?
Yes naman. Oo naman.
Let's go to Ivan Vicino, kay Attorney Karen Jimeno naman. Were you also surprised?
Yes, we were surprised. Kasi nung pag ini-interview sila dati, ang sila sabi nila, we have a self-imposed deadline of March 23. So we were expecting it was going to be close to March 23.
Okay. Ito ba, may nagsasabi kasi may nagko-comment, hindi ba ito parang amendment of the complaint? Or they are free to do whatever they did today?
Well, of course it's their call to drop the other articles of impeachment. But I think from a legal perspective, this can also be considered an amendment of their verified complaint.
And if it is an amendment, paano niyo i-raise yun? Are you going to raise it as an issue?
Whether it's going to be raised as an issue, I think is the call of our lead counsel. And up to now, we don't know what his position is.
Pag sinabing amendment, so therefore, pwede ba mag-fall lahat yung case nila? Kung halimbawa.
Well, technically, an amendment is not allowed. And it seems that with our rules of impeachment, if they want to amend their complaint, then they would just have to refile it outside the prohibited period. So that would be next year. I mean, this year, but December. But whether we will raise this as an issue, I'm not sure.
Yung comment niyo dun sa Supreme Court kind of affected yung case in certain aspects, no? Of the prosecution. Kasi parang one of the key witnesses dapat nila is Justice Serrano, who is barred by the...
And the clerk of court.
And the clerk of court.
Well, on our part, I think these are things that did not only affect them, but us as well, because we already saw the ruling of the impeachment court where they said that they will not subpoena not only the justices but also congressmen in recognition of the other branches of the government as their co-equal. So we also had justices in our list of witnesses and congressmen, but we think that we can cope with this, that there are other ways to prove our case, and we think that it was the same for the prosecution. They can prove their case in other ways.
One last, ma'am. When do we begin presenting your case?
Well, normally in a litigation, they would have to make their formal offer of evidence first. But in this case, we're not sure if they will require us to do it simultaneously, meaning that while they're doing their formal offer of evidence, we'll start presenting our own witnesses.
So kayo, yung pagpipresenta nyo, your turn, kailan yun malapat ang schedule?
Depende siguro kung ano sasabihin ng impeachment court na kung kailangan na namin magsimula habang mag-formal offer sila.
Okay, so yan ang mga pahayag na magkabilang panig. Si Representative Colmenares on the part of the prosecution and si Attorney Jimeno on the part of the defense. Ivan, Vicky.
Joseph, may tanong lang tayo kay Attorney Jimeno, no?
Yeah.
Meron ba silang nakikitang time frame para tapusin ang kanilang trabaho?
Para sa amin naman, ang tansya namin siguro mga 3 weeks or up to 1 month. It depends kasi yung dati nung tinitignan pa lang yung verified complaint, mas maikli yung kailangan namin panahon. Pero ngayon na nabawasan din yung ibang articles of impeachment, may iikli rin ito. Pero dahil nga may mga bagong issues din na na-raise under Article 2, katulad ng controversial paragraph 2.4 and yung bank accounts na we think they were using 2.4 pa rin, I mean, as a way of... paragraph 2.3, they were also using it as a way to prove some aspects of 2.4. Ito yung mga bagay na kailangan namin i-address pag kami na nagpipresenta ng ebidensya.
Pero balak rin ba nilang tawagan itong lahat na 20 plus witnesses o matitrim down pa ito?
Matitrim down ito. Yung dati naming listahan ng list of witnesses, nasa almost 30. At ito yung mga may kasama ng witnesses dun sa ibang mga articles of impeachment, pero dahil nga nabawasan ito, mas magiging konti rin ang aming testigo.
Alright, so abangan natin yan. At dito naman kay Representative Colmenares, nandiyan pa ba siya, Joseph?
Yes, Vicky, nasa katabi natin.
Yes, Congressman Neri, hello po. Si Vicky at Ivan po ito.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Ang nakikita ba natin dito ay talagang hindi na kayo umaasa na tatanggapin ni Justice Sereno ang imbitasyon?
Wala naman. Wala. That's why ang namin, may reservation naman kami just in case mag-appear yung mga court personnel at may cross pa si Justice Cuevas doon sa isang witness. So kami naman may pag-asa pa doon. Pero nabanggit ko kanina doon sa aking closing manifestation, we've established, na kami ng ebidensya na may kaso si Ginang Arroyo, kailangan niyang tumakas. Kailangan niya ng TRO, mabilis na binigay ang TRO kahit walang life and death urgency. At pangapat, mayroong distortion na nangyari, pinakita sa video, iba ang sinasabi ni Attorney Maidas Marquez, iba rin yung lumabas doon sa resolusyon. Doon kay Attorney Maidas Marquez, tuparin mo muna ang kondisyon bago ka makaalis ng bansa. Doon sa resolution na ina-allege namin, dinraft at inapprove ni Chief Justice Corona, pwede ka nang umalis kahit hindi ka nagbayad ng bond. So, yung mga ganong ebidensya na-establish na namin at sa tingin namin, malakas na rin yon kahit na hindi mag-appear ang Supreme Court personnel para makumbinsi ang impeachment court na ang TRO na yon was partial and biased na desisyon ni Chief Justice Corona.
Ito naman tungkol sa dollars, yung mga dollars na sinasabi, kahit na hindi nag-rule na nga yung Senado tungkol dito, parang para ata sa inyo, never say die, hindi pa tapos ang laban tungkol dito? Anong
Ganun naman
inaasahan
talaga,
nyo?
you make reservations on these points.
Okay.
Congressman Neri, isang tanong lang ho. Public opinion. May nakuha ho tayong konting reaction lang naman na baka kaya ina-abandon or terminate yung presentation ng evidence for the other articles dahil wala daw ebidensya.
Well, actually, ang isang major reason namin, gusto naming i-cut pag malakas ng mga ebidensya at mga kaso na i-submit namin. Pangalawa, ang aming pagtingin sa tactics ng defense dito, pahabain nila. Kaya pag mag-present ka pa ng 5 pang articles, magdidepensa sila sa 5 articles, aabutin tayo ng 3 buwan. Kasi bawat article, they will present evidence. So, ang tactic namin dito, para hindi na sila mabigyan ng pampahaba, pag humaba kasi ang depensa, mawala ng interes ng tao, hindi nila malala mga issues, makalimutan na si SALN, makakalimutan na si GMA TRO. So we cut the 5 articles para diretso at focus at hindi na rin makapagpahaba ang depensa by presenting evidence doon sa mga 5 other articles. But the truth is, para sa amin, malakas ang aming 8 complaints. We just focused on the 3 strongest complaints namin.
Pero sabi ni Karen, 3 weeks to a month, tapos na raw sila.
Yeah, kasi 3 articles na lang. Pangalawa, kahit ako rin, I would say 3 weeks to 1 month, but in the end, pwedeng 2 or 3 months, no? Depends. Kasi nasa advantage rin talaga ng depensa na humaba ito para mawala ng interest at, hindi na malaala. With due respect to Karen, that is how we anticipate their legal tactics here.
Okay, sige, bigyan naman natin si Karen ang pagkakataon na mag-comment. Karen?
Answer.
Oo. Para sa amin, hindi tactic na pahabain yung paglilitis. And in the first place, para sa amin, irrelevant na pahabain ito or kung mawawalan ba ng interest ang ating mga mamamayan. Kasi para sa amin, ang paglilitis dapat nasa loob nga ng impeachment court. At dapat nga, hindi mangibabaw yung kung ano yung iniisip ng taong bayan doon sa magiging desisyon ng mga senator judges. Kasi nung nagkaroon sila ng obligasyon, nung bago pa sila maupo as senator judges, na mag-render ng impartial justice, umuupo sila dito bilang husgado. Kailangan ang kanilang desisyon ay base sa batas at sa mga ebidensyang ilalatag dito.
Alright.
At para sa amin nga, kung malakas talaga yung ebidensya mo sa lahat ng articles of impeachment, strategically, it makes sense to retain all of them. Kasi ang kailangan lang nila ay conviction sa kahit isang article of impeachment. So kung sigurista ka, gusto mo lahat yan, nakalatag at patunayan.
Okay, maraming salamat sa inyo, Joseph Morong at Attorney Karen Jimeno.
At kay Congressman Neri Colmenares. Maraming salamat. At maraming salamat din siyempre sa ating legal expert na nakasama ngayong hapon, Professor Rowena Daroy Morales ng UP College of Law. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you
As
very
always,
much.
napaka-lively ng ating discussion ngayong
At
hapon.
nagulat tayo sa mga kaganapan ngayon, pero hindi ho kayo nagulat. So tuloy-tuloy pa rin ho ito. Ngayon naman, pakikinggan natin, starting perhaps tomorrow, yung panig naman ng depensa. So I guess we should all just reserve judgment until we hear their side. At yan po ang mga pinakasariwang balita kaugnay sa impeachment trial ni Chief Justice Renato Corona. Ako po si Vicky Morales.
Huwag po kayong bibitiw sa patuloy na pagtutok ng GMA News TV sa paglilitis ng punong mahistrado ng Korte Suprema. Ako po si Ivan Mayrina.
At ito po ang The Chief Justice on Trial.